Hello, you. Hello, beautiful you. So, welcome to the Deconditioning by Energy Type series. And this series, this specific video, this specific session is designed for generators and manifesting generator. So, if you're a generator, manifesting generator, or you know someone, let them know. And even though this session is a long one. This video, as you can see, is probably roughly about 3 hours long. I really encourage you to watch it, to go through the whole video. You might not have time to, at one sitting to watch for 3 hours. You might want to watch in parts, but that's absolutely fine. But really encourage you to do so, because now here I'm re-recording the introduction. But it's based on the live session that we had over a week ago. So over a week ago when we did this live session, it took about 3 hours. Why I'm actually re-recording this introduction, because we had Zoom problems and I got very distracted, I got very annoyed about those problems, and I simply forgot to press record. And I missed about 20 minutes of the session. So everything else is recorded apart from those, the beginning, but roughly about 20 minutes. So I'm re-recording this right now. And, then at some point we go to chart readings, generators and manifesting generator chart readings, and where I give a lot of practical information on how to live your design. So even though there might not be your chart included, but I really encourage you to watch it, because there'll be a lot of information that will resonate with you, and this is something that you can always take from it for yourself. So really encourage you to watch it all. And of course, please let me know in the comments whether you find something useful and practical for yourself, whether it's been helpful. And generally, I really would like to hear your feedback. And this is really important for me. Why? Because a little introduction about myself, who I am. I'm Ola Luna, and I am a manifester. I am a 5/1 emotional manifester. And if you know, manifestors are here to know the impact. So by me knowing my impact, I need to hear from you. You as a generator are here to know yourself. I'm here to know my impact, but I don't know it if you don't tell me. So please leave me a comment how you found it. So as I said, you as a generator or manifesting generator, obviously it doesn't matter whether you manifesting generator, you have a generator aura. So what it actually means, let's just start about a little introduction about your aura, because without that you can't really know how to start your deconditioning process, because you really need to know the basics. So your aura, you might already know that your aura is open and enveloping. And what it actually means. So your aura is like this beautiful bubble around you, and it's open. So that means that if you are in contact with, in presence of other person, no matter the type, so your aura is open, wide open, like no protection for the other. And it means that because of your openness, of this wide openness that you carry within your aura, you literally take everything in, right? So you might be quite sensitive. That could be the reason why let's say, you quite a sensitive person. And you easily, allow this conditioning and, energy of the other to literally to take in, and you have no protection. This is how the aura works, is the mechanic of it. And because it's wide open, right, so you're open, you receive all that, but you also condition the other, right? Because your aura is just, you receive this person in, but you also send your aura out. Therefore you are quite easily conditioned by the other, but also you condition obviously the other person. And because the aura is also enveloping, so it means that it's like giving the other person this auric hack. So is like enveloping them literally within your openness. But then remember, you receive like everything in. So what is actually quite common for generators and manifesting generators is boundaries, right? The problems with boundaries. It's also that because of the aura, right? You're wide open, you receive the other person in quite deeply. And especially mm, projectors, right, with their penetrating, or they can easily penetrate you, your G center, your identity, to really get to know, because you have no protection, you're just wide open for them. So it's quite common for you to have problems with boundaries. So I'd really encourage you, let me know in the comments, please, whether if you have problems with boundaries, right, with setting clear boundaries for their person, that you feel that people maybe often, or it's quite common for you to literally like abuse your boundaries. So let me know in the comments if that is the case. Because that could be the case. I'm not saying this always, but that's why, especially, of course, every person on the planet should really work with boundaries. I think this is actually quite common shadow of the humanity at all. But especially you guys with your open and enveloping aura, I really encourage you to, sit and think with what boundaries, what areas of your life that you feel that you need to work on stronger boundaries. Where what other people easily, cross these boundaries, what they kind of even abuse your, limits. So think, and you can even, I encourage you to journal if that's what, feels right for you. Just journal in what areas of your life this is what happens, is quite common, and who these people are. Just look around and do, a little inventory about people. Like, what do you think, who does that the most, in what situation it usually happens. Maybe you might even notice some sort of patterns that they, are kind of like repeating themselves. So that's about the aura. So you as the generator and the manifesting generator are here to get to know yourself. You are here to know you. You are here to know yourself. And for example, the system like human design, astrology, gene keys, and any kind of system is here to help you. It's here literally to help you to get to know yourself. But what I really want to highlight here is that, of course, like human design, that's why we are here talking about human design. But I want you to know that, and make sure that this is highlighted. Now, you probably have your chart ready, generate a chart. Most of you, some of you might know your chart quite well, very well, or very little, doesn't matter really. And I want you to know that, you are not your chart, right? This chart can obviously help you. Yeah, absolutely. Very much to help you to get to know yourself, get to know your energy and how you operate, how you relate to others. But I want you really to know that you are not your chart. You are much more than your chart. You may have two the same people, let's say even twins, right? Raised in the same environment, raised in the same household, having exactly the same charts, but they're totally different people, right? So you are not your chart. But the chart is more about helping you to decipher all that, helping you to get to know you, but you are not your chart. I really want to make this clear. So what you can get to know, right? What it means, like, to get to know you. Obviously, how you operate. You're a beautiful sacral being. So by listening and knowing and learning about how your sacral actually responds, is going to make so much difference for you. But because literally, to get to know you, all you need to know is to get to know your sacral response, and to live by it, right? To respond to situations, people, and opportunities, and based on that go. It's like following breadcrumbs, right? You have like these nuggets, you've got like breadcrumbs, your sacral response. Okay, you take this, pick up this breadcrumb, and then you follow another one. This is literally the way, is like a path of following the breadcrumbs, literally. And the I'm going to go more about sacral a little bit later. But what I want to know is, getting to know yourself. So I want to talk about more your chart. So you have your chart and you see that there are some energy centers, some channels and gates colored in, defined, and there are some white, which means undefined. So whiteness, what's undefined, what's white, is there where you can be easily conditioned, right? This is where you receive the other in. It's sometimes even, well, it works like a magnet, because your undefined, your white areas and in your design, they quite, attracted to the other people who's got this definition that but you don't. So this is where you receive the most conditioning. So knowing this, it can help you knowing your whiteness, right? Deciphering your whiteness, what it means. It can really help you to know what you are not, literally what you are not. The colored in areas, defined areas in your chart, this is definition, what we call in humanism definition. So this is more like a fixed, it's more reliable energy within your chart. So this is what is a part of your blueprint. This is what you are. But remember, you're just more than your chart, right? You're just more than this. But basically, it's what we look at, right? So defined can help you with knowing what you are and who you are and what energies you carry. Whiteness, undefined, is what you are not, is how you easily conditioned by the other and the environment, the external environment. So as a generator and manifesting generator, your strategy and is to respond, is to wait to respond, right? It's called wait to respond. But I really want to encourage you to even think about this, right? Wait to respond. I actually don't like this word wait, because waiting, most of the time people are like, okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna wait and just wait, sit, maybe lay down on my sofa, sleep, and just wait. Not so much. I mean, it's more about literally actively waiting. It's more about how you can wait without waiting, right? How you can just wait literally without waiting. It's about responding, because with your beautiful motor sacral, you respond to life all the time, and life brings you all these opportunities, smaller and bigger ones. But you respond to things all the time, every single day. And I often hear from generators that, oh, I just don't respond, I have nothing to respond to. This is not true. You always respond, right? So to start living your design, all you need is to follow your strategy and authority, right? So it's way to respond, and your strategy, whether it's sacral, again, respond, it's all about responding, or emotional, it's about waiting but responding as well. You're here to wait to respond. You're here to respond, right? Live actively and respond. What I actually mean, what is actually about this active living, right? It's about doing what you love. That is very important. It's crucial for you generators and manifesting generators to really, you are here, you are the builders of the world, right? Everything, when you look around, is built by you. You are, for me, right, you with sacral, you are like a phenomena. So when I observe my friends generators and manifesting generators, or when I observe people generate who are generators and manifesting generators, like out, like really amazed by how much energy you have. You probably have even more energy than you really need. It's really beautiful, right? So I would like to do my best to help you to tune in to this beautiful energy that you carry and live by it. So then when you do this, when you aligned with your energy, life just brings everything you need to you. And it's beautiful for me to watch, to observe. So yeah, so you are here, this active waiting. So you're here to do what you love. Obviously, let's even focus on the sacral, right? Sacral is the most powerful motors of all. So it re-energizes itself. But for your sacral to re-energizes itself and to work really efficiently for you, is that you must, it's like a must do, right? You must do what you love. So again, I really encourage you to either stop this video now or write down so then you can work with this later, and to really pay attention what brings you joy, what gives you satisfaction, what satisfaction means for you. Just answer this question, right? What satisfaction means for you, and what brings you this satisfaction, what activities, right? What hobbies, um what gives you, what maybe projects, what is like some, even the work that you do, what gives, what part of work that you do, what gives you this satisfaction, what lights you up, what makes that you want to do more, and that you, to the point that you literally cannot stop yourself. Because this is how your sacral work, right? For your sacral, for this motor to re-energize itself, when you that's why it's a phenomena, right? Because the more you do what you love and enjoy, and it brings you the satisfaction and lights you up, so you're not like tiring yourself up, right? You're not tiring yourself out. It's like your sacral, by doing what you love, it literally, by doing more and more and more, energizes itself. So when you actually start working on some sort of like project or something that you do, whether it's an activity or anything that gives you this satisfaction, you can even work, for longer hours on that particular thing, because it lights you up. And therefore your motor, you've got this energy to carry on working, right, all these hours, because your sacral energizes itself by doing what you love. That's why it's so important, right? You might often hear that, oh, generators are here to work. I don't like this, right? You are not here to work. You are here to do what you love, right? Please understand this. You're not here to work, just, to give out your energy, freely and for nothing, right? You are here to do what you love. That's what you're here to do, not to work. You're here to do, yeah, to do what you love, what gives you the satisfaction. And that's how you become aligned with an energy, and you have even more energy to do so. But what's important here for the generator, right, is to have this freedom within your work schedule. I know it's not often possible even, yeah, especially if you, let's say, work for somebody else. That's how the world is designed, unfortunately. Hopefully it's gonna change, but that's how it works. You might have this schedule, but why I'm actually saying this, that schedule, it might actually not be a good fit for you, because when you have this energy, when you do what you love, you can work longer hours, and until you do this or you finish something. But you might see and notice that you tire yourself out quicker by doing what you hate, that you're doing what you don't like, and what doesn't give you satisfaction, and it only frustrates you. So that's, you can notice this difference, right? So when it comes to the schedule that I've mentioned, is that you don't do well with schedules just due to this energy, right? Because sometimes you might see that you have a lot of energy, and sometimes you might see that you are easily tired because of that's my thing. Because you do what you don't like and don't enjoy, and it frustrates you. So about the schedule, is that it's important because of the motor, right? You might have this residue of energy, so it's important that you go to bed when you literally knackered. Like you tire yourself out. So it's important, right, to literally exhaust yourself before you go to bed, right? It's really important for you generators. And see, your aura, what I've already mentioned, your aura is open, right? So you receive other people in, right? You just receive them in. And when you go to bed, that and still having, energy, a lot of energy in you, you might have sleep problems. You might have difficulties to fall asleep. You might see that you wake up quite frequently during the night, or you generally have some sleep problems. It is simply because you don't exhaust yourself before you go to sleep. And when it comes to the schedule, let's say you start your work at 9 in the morning every day, right? Monday to Friday. And you might be kind of like going by the schedule. Okay, it's 10 o'clock every day you go to bed because you need to get up in the morning, right? And by 10 o'clock, you're not exhausted, right? You haven't burned this excess of energy, and that's where you might have these sleep problems. So it is really crucial especially for generators, not so much in manifesting generators, and I believe it's because of the manifesting channel, or generally the um, either the manifesting channel, or because they have motorized fraud. So this is actually especially for generators, that you exhaust yourself before you go to sleep. And because of your aura, this is also, by doing this is also how you clear your aura, right? Because you receive everything, and you receive energy in, you receive bacteria in, all these microorganisms and whatever you're receiving. I don't know, I'm not a biologist. It's like it's not even the energy, like all these others, things that you receive because you're so open. So this is the way for you to even see clear your aura. That's why it's so important for you to exhaust yourself before you go to sleep. And then you don't have sleep problems, you sleep well, you wake up in the morning, and hopefully you do what you love, and then you make your own energy again. Your sacral obviously re-energizes itself and produces even more energy for you to keep you going during the day. So to know what you love, right? Again, I really want you to do this inner work and ask your soul, um, by what you know now, right? What are these activities that you know now that you love doing, right? And please keep like a separate pages in your journal for this, because you might know, hopefully you do know now what gives you this joy. Maybe it's painting, right? Maybe it's writing, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's walking, maybe it's I don't know, climbing mountains, let's say. Whatever these activities are, they can be small, they can be big. Include them all. Now, what you're aware of that gives you this joy and satisfaction, what lights you up, and write down. And then from now on, I would like you to, go into the world and watch yourself and observe yourself with this awareness. And then, okay, and then see what you like, what brings you joy, and then, you know go back to this section in your journal and write it down, so then you have this black on white, what lights you up. But this can change, and that's normal. This is very human thing that it changes. So because you have this energy, you're not here to do everything by yourself. And sometimes this is really what is mistaken by generators. Oh, because you have energy, you think you need to do everything. This is absolutely not true. What I also see and observe in generators and manifesting generators, that you guys tend to do too much, even give out your energy too freely, right, to people. And that what where the problems with boundaries might also come into place, because um I've got energy, you can oh, I'll just do it. But uh, please respect your energy, right? That's why what I'm gonna do cover next is the sacral. I always go by sacral, right? Make decision by your sacral response. Is it your sacral, is it responding or not? When people come to you and ask you for favors, is your sacral responding or not to that? Is really, really important. Now, as I said, for me, having sacral defined, it is a phenomena. It is a phenomena because when you tune in to your sacral response, and you just keep going in life, following life, just by following your sacral, the life is just beautiful. Life literally comes to you when you are aligned to being who you are. Life literally comes to you and it shows up with all these beautiful opportunities that are right for you. And then obviously you accept them, right? You might obviously some opportunities that are not right for you, they still gonna, show up. But then you make decision by your sacral response, right? And then you cannot be mistaken. So really, really, really encourage you to figure it out literally how your sacral speaks to you or through you. So what are the sacral responses, right? Obviously, we would need to go into pretty much every channel that every channel that defines your sacral, right? Which this is maybe the session is not defined, is not designed to go through it, because we could I could talk about this for another few hours. I might actually do another session just on the sacral, but I'll see how it goes. I'll obviously let you know. I'll keep you informed about this. So what is like the general rule of the sacral is, so the sacral, how it responds. And so here, it doesn't quite matter whether you are an emotional generator, manifesting generator, or sacral generator, because you're still here to respond, right? For those of you who are emotional, you're here still to respond, right? To make decision by the sacral response, following the sacral response or not. But being emotional is about bigger decisions. Being emotional is about you waiting, right? Maybe longer to have this clarity whether definitely something is for you. When it comes to like really big decision, for small decision for your daily living, all you need, all of you, is to literally follow these breadcrumbs, right? To respond or not, right? To follow what your sacral responds to or not. So that is how your sacral works. So the sacral is beautiful because you really need specific questions. And here what I also, see after having many sessions with generators and manifesting generators is that you obviously don't know that you need specific questions. So please don't be shy about asking for more details. Why? Because your sacral needs to have on hand more details, because it needs to know whether it definitely has energy for this specific thing, right? That's why you need more details, right? So please don't be shy at asking if you need more details, because you need to know what you invest your energy in. They can't be generic. Let's say I can't ask you, okay, do you want to go in business with me? And then it's like, yes or no. You don't know. What actually, it's like, what does it mean? It means nothing going business with me, right? It really literally means nothing. Like, you need more details. Like, okay, what is it? Will that be required from you, right? You need to know what you literally invest your energy in, right? What is required from you? Otherwise, you can be just wasting your energy. And that's where problems with boundaries come in place as well. So you don't be shy to ask for more details, because you do need them. You need specific questions, specific information to know. So yeah, so know that that's okay. It's okay to ask more for specific, right? Be more specific with you. So the sacral. So it's really beautiful for me to watch my especially generator friends. When I actually speak to, when I talk to them, and then go or it's more like or it's like you're not sure or you don't want to do it. So please hear yourself, right? Hear yourself, what you know how your body is. This is literally your body language. This is your sacral body language, right? Your sacral like talks. And I have a sacral generator son. He's only 3 year old, but it's really for me, it's just so beautiful to watch his sacral responses, right? He doesn't talk as much yet, even though he's 3. He's undefined throat. It's quite common for undefined throat children to start speaking a bit later. Um, so it's really, it's so beautiful for me to watch him. Like he goes, or like they say, Milo, do you want this? And he goes like, So that is a no. So what, especially as a generator, right? It's that's how you can see and observe you going, right? Your sacral response is your sacral language. So what can you do, as a generator? You open yourself up, to open your body so that it can literally speak through you. How can you make this happen, right? That if you don't see this, that you don't hear this way of your sacral speaking, what can you do, right? I really challenge you now here. What can you do to open your body, right? So then it can literally speak, through you. And when you have a conversation with someone, it's like we go, then you know that it's it's like yes, it's a yes for your sacral, and then you hear, okay, I actually said or 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 It's like no or not at the moment. So then because your sacral might not want to do something at the moment because it doesn't have the energy at the moment, and that's absolutely fine. It might have the energy for this next week or tomorrow, but doesn't have this energy now. So then, obviously making decision based on that. So that's one way. The other way is like when you receive this question, right? Like, yeah, of course you do need questions, need to know specific question. You need to know enough details for the sacral to know what's investing in. And then it's like something you receive this question, and you might this question might seem for you. It might feel expansive, that your sacral is like expands, like it feels expansive, or maybe it feels contractive. That's like, oh no, it's not. You feel that's kind of like it's contracting, so it's a no. Obviously, if something feels expansive, it's a yes. And a lot of people feel even this kind of like body movement, right? It's like, oh, if something feels expansive, that you have this body movement, like as if you just want to literally run up to something, right? Like start literally doing it. So that what could be. And especially for manifesting generators who have who have a channel from throat to sacral, right? So if you have this connection, but that obviously is only for manifesting generators, and generators don't have motorized throat. So manifesting generator, whether you are defined by the 2034 channel, or maybe even from throat through the G center to your sacral. So that's what I'm talking about. Manifesting generators who have channel either direct or through G center to their sacral, is how you might not so much hear this or you might not hear this, because with this connection, with this channel, sacral to throat, it's like throat takes over the language of the sacral, let's say. So those people, if you have this this channel and from your throat to sacral, you might see more, you might not hear your body speaking like an you might not hear that. What is like because as I said, the throat takes over the language itself. It says yes or no. It's like you might see like someone speaks to you, it's like yes or no, like it's a quick yes or no. And then I'm sure that the feel things feel expansive or contractive. So pay attention to this, and if you know this, if you like okay, you know what it is, please let me know in the comments below, how does your sacral responds to you? How does your sacral talks to you or through you? That's your body language, and let me know whether you recognize any of that what I've mentioned. Obviously, we could go into more details by knowing your design, by going yes, by going into, the channel that you have defined. So yeah, of course, if you are interested, if you are interested in booking a session with me, for example, either as a human design session or a gene key session, then you're very welcome. And if you feel that I am obviously the right person to go through your chart with you, then reach out to me, and I'm happy to guide you and to be your guide, and to have this powerful and impactful session with you. Okay, so let's talk about emotional, right? So obviously we know, I've already said, it's the emotional. Even though you're emotional, you still, with small decisions in life, you still go by your response, right? You listen to your sacral. So what is this emotional? Obviously, you're always on the wave, on emotional wave. That's why, especially with big life decisions, it's better to wait and see. And obviously, you wait a while until you have this clarity, this emotional clarity, and then you go back and check in with your sacral, what your sacral says, right? What your sacral responds to or not. And I also encourage you, because I'm also an emotional person, right? An emotional manifestor. And what I actually found life changing, literally life changing, when I do this. So I encourage you to do this inventory in your life now, even now or later. You can pause this video and do this exercise now, or you can do this later, but write it down so that you don't forget, because it's quite really important, especially for emotional generators, manifesting generators, or generally an emotional person, right? If you have solar plexus defined. I would like you to make this inventory in life, yeah, and think about these areas in your life that you tend to make wrong decisions, and then you regret, that you tend to make this decision on this emotional low wave, and then it wasn't good, right? It wasn't the right decision. And what are these areas of your life? What are these specific things that you seem to just decide too quickly and then regret? What it could be, right? So for myself, I'm just gonna give you some examples how it works for me. So for me, it's especially with money. If I don't want to buy, I don't have this idea to buy something, right? So now, before I buy something, I literally wait, right? I'm not saying maybe just little things, but um but even like clothing, right? Even like books, right? I had in the past this tendency to buy too many books, to buy too many courses, because I'm just it's like in the past I would make this decision to, buy this, it's just a book here and book then, it's just £8 or £10, it's nothing, it's really, but then I had all these books that would be sitting, on my shelf, but they all haven't read them, right? They all like just sitting there. And if you think this way, like £10 here, £10 there, that adds up, right? And it's actually quite a big sum. So I'm like, really, before I want to buy another book, I literally wait. I give myself some time, and most of the time I don't want to buy this book anymore. But if I do still want to, then I would go ahead and buy it. And another thing would be like with courses, right? With education. I'm like, I just want to know everything. I'm 5'1", I'm an investigator. I just, I can really easily go into this investigative mode, and just spend money on things that then obviously wouldn't finish them, because I made this decision. It was just an emotional decision on the low, and obviously this course isn't suitable for me. So I had many unfinished courses in the past. And yeah, and even like clothing, right? Literally, that's what always wait. Do I really need, 10 pair of jeans? Or this is just my emotion that I emotionally want to spend money and want to buy something. Another area in my life is helping people, is helping others, right? I'm really guilty of just, wasting my energy for others, my energy that I don't have this energy, right? Like you do, I don't have this beautiful motor that energizes itself. So then obviously my price would be that would need to rest, longer, and some of my things would suffer because I didn't have this energy to. I said yes to someone, spend my energy onto helping, someone or people, but then I didn't have energy to finish my own thing, so my own life would suffer. So then I realized, okay, this is how I tend to make the wrong decisions, tend to um, even compromise, myself and my energy. So that was a life change. So these are the areas that I now, because I'm emotional, I tell either myself, wait, just give yourself my time, Ola. Or if there are other people, included in this, I always, even though I want to say yes to something right away, because I'm either on the high, either on the low. Even like being on the high, it's like, when I'm on this high wave, right? I'm like, yes, everything is possible. Let's just do it. And then that wasn't right. So if people now, when people come to me and they need my help, I'm like, let me sleep on it. I'll get back to you. That's why I tell them right away. Now, this is my kind of like auto response to people. Let me sleep on it, or I'll get back to you, right? Even though I want to say yes, because now in this moment it feels doable, something, yeah, I want to do it. But oftentimes, the next day I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't go ahead. I know I don't want to do this. I don't fancy doing this. So, yes. So please think about what are these areas of your life that you tend to make these wrong decisions as an emotional person. And think about this, right? Give either yourself, obviously, this permission, kind of, because all we need, at the end of the day, is like give ourselves this permission to say no to something, or to say wait, right? Let's wait a bit longer because I need this clarity. Or having this auto response for someone, give me time, I'll get back to you. Or if you need more details, ask for more details, what's included in that, so then you know what you invest in, and then say, okay, thank you, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And that's it. And it's gonna be a life changer for you, because it was a life changer for me. So hope it was really clear. But for like daily activities, it's what you do is following like breadcrumbs, following your sacral response. It's like yes or no, or coffee, tea. What do you want? Like asking yourself, what do you want? Coffee, tea. Okay, coffee. I don't know, sandwich or toast? Toast. And literally, and exercise yourself, experiment with your sacral, with like just within yourself, right? And daily simple life, daily simple living. Toast, sandwich, panini, wrap, um going out, staying in, Netflix, Amazon, whatever, right? What do I want to watch? Do you want to watch Netflix? Do you want to watch Amazon? Yeah, coffee, tea, as I said, pasta, pizza. What is it that you, and follow this. Mm, Going out with your friend, or studying in. Yeah, starting this project or not. Or starting this one or that one. Just, I know it sounds really simple, because you know what, it is very simple when you think about this way, but it's not easy. And I know it is all simple because that's the simplest way. You all just need to follow your sacred response. It's simple, but it's not easy.
I've got recorded, right? Yeah, I usually have a sticker on my computer, and they have it now. And this thing with the password really distracted me today, and I literally thought, but that's okay. I might need to. Oh, that's okay. I could just carry on. So you didn't need a password card. I know it's just really weird that some people, yeah, have this problem, some don't. I honestly, it must be the Zoom, or these retrogrades. I don't know, but I think Mercury isn't in retro right now. I can't remember. I think Mercury is in retro, so we shouldn't really have these communication problems unless it's something else. Um, so you are right, the motor. I was talking about the motor, right? So that's what makes you even the name, right? Comes the generator name. It comes from having the sacral defined as the most powerful motor of all. Um, and it's a really beautiful thing. To me, is actually the more I learn about your type, and the more I observe, your mechanic and observe generators and manifesting generators. To me, you are the phenomena. Like literally, your mechanic is a phenomena to me. It's so beautiful to have this generating motor that when you do what you love, it literally re-energizes itself, right? It gives you even more energy. So if you were aligned, that's where I started saying that if you live correctly, right, to your energy type, and you follow your strategy and authority, when you do this, I mean, the truth is, like for you, manifesting generators in general, that's the only thing you really need to do. But I know it's not easy, isn't it? It's like our own. It's not. I mean, it's not easy, but it's just so simple. Why it can't be so easy? Because of the conditioning. Um, yeah, is the hardest thing. I'm not sure if you even read about other types. Some people say, oh, for manifestor you just need to inform people and that's it. Right? And that's not so easy. Actually, that's because the conditioning. What's the problem with just informing? Well, there is. It just doesn't come naturally for us. That's not. We've not been taught that, and is obviously the difference between who I should actually to inform, because if I over inform, I even create more resistance, right? So even for you, it's I mean it sounds and it seems simple. Well, all you need to do is just to keep responding. That's just very easy. um yeah, it'd be so beautiful for if you just knew how to do it like naturally, right? It's a part of your body. It should just be so easy, but it's not. Hopefully for new generations, right, for our children, for our grandchildren, it'd be easier. Hopefully they wouldn't have to go through such harsh deconditioning, right? They won't be as lost as us. They just know. As I said, I've got a generator son, and he's 3 year old. He also has open throat. So for open throat is really quite common, especially for children with open throat, to start talking a bit later in life. So he's free and he doesn't talk in like human language. His sacral talks all the time, and I'm so grateful, to know this. Um, that we, even though he doesn't, speak in the human language, I always know what he wants. I mean, that's the only thing I really want him to, whether he wants to engage in something or he doesn't. And it's just literally for me, it's just listening to his or he's like like, can you just, I don't know, he, let's say he just throws something, right? I'm like, can you just pick it up? No. Okay, well, I'll wait, or I'll do it, or I'll just wait. And obviously, most of the time, even if I wait, he does it himself anyway, after a while, obviously. So it's just so much easier. Now, hopefully, it'll be so much easier for our children and for our grandchildren. But for us, we just need to go through this, the conditioning process. Learning, unlearning. To me, is actually more of an unlearning process, That's how I see it. It's literally, we need to unlearn rather than learn. Yeah, right. I want to read your comment, Karen. I don't find the responding difficult. Is the finding what brings me joy or whatever word you need. Yes, used. Yes, yeah. I can see that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you are here to do what you love, right? To do what lights you up, and this is how your generator, right, re-energizes itself, right? That's the only way. If you do what you love, if you do what brings you satisfaction, you don't tire yourself out. You have even more energy. That's the phenomenon for me, right? When you do what you love, what brings you satisfaction, you even have more energy. You work, but you like re-energize yourself. And for me as a manifester, I don't get it. I'm tired anyway, no matter if I love it or not, or I don't. I'm just tired anyway. Um, that's yeah how it is. So yeah, but how to actually find this? Yeah, that's a really great question. So your question is how to actually know what gives you joy and satisfaction, how to know how to tap into this. Yeah, how to know what I love or what energizes me. Yeah, it's the way I actually see it. It's actually funny, me manifestors who doesn't have the sacral, talking about the sacral. So I can literally talk from the observation point of view, from um, learning, but more, as I said, the learning process is only that much. The observation, the other things, the experimenting is the whole world, right? It is the rest. So for me, it's just obviously I can speaking to people, from observing them, because obviously we are surrounded by you, right? You are 70% of the population. So we all know I know many generators and manifesting generators. So how to know? I don't know. My suggestion would be just following like breadcrumbs, like one step at a time, and doing like waiting what your sacral response is. If your sacral responds to something, okay, if it responds to something, it means that it has a reason. It has the first of all, it has the energy to engage, right? If it responds to something, it means it has the energy to engage. And if it has the energy to, it just doesn't respond because it wants to um you know invest its energy into this specific thing. It sees maybe some sort of a joy, or sees some sort of a reason in that wants to do, and just follow it one step at a time. And also for you, it doesn't matter actually as such if you are emotional or sacral. Your truth isn't in the future, right? Your truth is now. Obviously for emotional is more like this, there's this even like this waiting period, but this is something I want to cover as well. But I want to focus on, I want to finish what I've started is you keep following your response. What does how and well, maybe it's another thing is how you're, do you actually know how your sacral, do you know, have you managed, let me know in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you feel, if you want to say something and explain it. Maybe sometimes it's just easy to say something, to talk. Have you actually have you figured it out? Do you know what is, how your sacral actually speaks through you? Do you know this response mechanism? Do you know? How
Yes.
does it work for you?
Mine feels physical. It feels like almost like pushes me forward, or
Yeah.
so
And
it's
if
easy.
it does, yeah, it's easy. This is true. It's like, and if you don't want to engage in something, do you feel that it kind of like closes? Do you feel this, or you don't feel anything? How does it work if you don't want to engage into something?
I feel when it's a definite no, then it's like, oh no, like
Yeah.
really like loud. But when it says, like, and it's like it doesn't give me anything, then I've learned that that just means not now. That's still not a yes, so I'm not going to do it. I just wait longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because sacral, it just knows and knows its truth. The sacral knows the truth in the now, right? So knows now, here and now, whether it has the energy or it doesn't, right? It won't know, whether you have energy in a month time. It just won't know this, right? It just knows what it knows now. So that's why being present, really, I know it's also quite difficult now in these days to be present, because we are overstimulated with, we have so many stimuli now, right? Internet, people, TV, and it's so, we can be easily overstimulated, which can also be quite difficult. It can cut you off from this feeling inside of you. Um, yeah, so it's like, that's why for you, it doesn't matter whether you're emotional or sacral. For all of you, it's really important to be in the now moment, to be present. I don't know how about you, but obviously I'm emotional. I don't have sacral. But like, I like to, be so in the future, like, dreaming about things. But then, for you, if you this kind of person that like, you go, you look in the future, you won't find your truth in the future. I'm not saying that you shouldn't dream or you shouldn't, think or shouldn't visualize. What I'm actually saying, is really important to be in the now. When you're in the now, when you ground in the now moment, and then you feel this through. And I want to ask you if you right. You kind of, especially when you're emotional, no decision in the high or low. That's the difference, yes, between emotional. It was a difference between emotional high and then and if that's what energizes me. Yeah, because, yeah, as I said, so the sacral itself, right? It doesn't matter whether it's emotional or not. It's important to be grounded in the now, because what we need to remember is, like, you respond here in the now moment, right? And you always respond, like, you always respond every day. Sometimes I get asked this question that, oh, I don't know what to respond to. Well, you might not know what to respond, but it's like, you have nothing to respond to. But this is not true. You always respond, right? The truth is, we all respond. I respond as well. I mean, we all do in some way, right? But you always respond. You always have things to respond. It's like coffee or tea. What is it? Coffee or tea? Starting small. I don't know what you want, salad or pasta. What is it, right? And you always respond. Whether you want to, I don't know, speak to someone asks you a question, and then you say something back. That's a response as well. So you always respond. The thing is to know what to, obviously, and in what to invest your energy. So what emotional is, how I actually see the emotional. Obviously, yes, so the emotional, so the circle is the truth in the now. But what if you're emotional, then there is no truth in the now. So how to do it? The way I actually see it, right, and how I observe it, is that for day-to-day activities, for daily life, your truth is in the now. So you follow your sacral, you follow this pool. So you follow the sacral. And emotional, I see, is for, like, bigger decisions. That's how I see it. And I would like to, those of you who are emotional, I would like to maybe even write it down, so then, you know, maybe you don't forget to do it. I would really like to invite you to just think, where you have tendency in your life to make wrong decisions, right? And then this is how you feel. Oh, you might be thinking that all my responses are off. And those of you who are emotional, especially, I would like you to make this inventory, kind of like inventory in life, in what areas in your life, because you will see when you actually start thinking about this, you start to see your pattern, right? Or even start observing yourself from now on. In what areas of your life you tend to make wrong decisions. So that would be how I would encourage you to wait on those things. And I'll give you more specific examples. Let's say you have problems with shopping, right? You have this tendency to overspend money, right? That's quite common in people generally, to go out in the shops. Oh, I like these trousers. You have this, sacral pull. Oh, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna buy it. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's your maybe 30th pair of jeans. You buy this pair of jeans, and then you come back home and say you never wear them, right? And you can see that, okay, that's kind of like maybe overspending money, right? So you literally make this inventory where you have this tendency to make wrong decisions. Let's say, as I said, that's an example. I think that's a good example. Money, right? That you overspend. Or I love buying courses. This is how I work with my emotion. I'm emotional as well. I don't have authority. The truth is, manifester, we don't have authority. We just emotional waits until it has clarity, but I don't have this mechanism in my body to actually tell me, right, to pull me into something. And so that's how I do it. I know, let's say I have this tendency to buy books, and it's like, and books are cheap. It's like, oh, it's like £8 here, £10 there, but I have like, piles of books that I don't read. I haven't read most of them. Let's say, just keep adding them on. That's, that's not a great decision, right? It's just be spending money. Is literally carrying on making these wrong decisions. Maybe I don't need these books, And so I actually had this chat with myself. Okay, Ola, so where do you tend to make wrong decisions? So for me, it's like courses, right? Learning books. And I just, okay, we have message. I buy books as well and courses. Yes. So if you are emotional, I can't remember whether you're emotional or sacral you're emotional. That's for you to, okay, so I'm not gonna listen to the sacral pull. Let's wait until I have this clarity. Whether do I really need this book? Do I really need this course? So that's how I do it. So is it clear? Do you think it's quite helpful to actually wait on those things, make this inventory, where you make this wrong decision and wait on that? Plus some major life decisions, right? Let's say someone comes to you and says, okay, let's start the business tomorrow, and you're emotional. You go, oh yeah, my circle is so happy, let's just do it. And then obviously things go wrong because you overcommitted yourself. So obviously that's a major, right? That's a major, a really important decision, life decision. So then if you're emotional, that's important, let's just wait, even though my sacral screams to join in. I'm gonna wait because it might cost you obviously a lot of energy, right? You might invest a lot of energy. With lots of money spending, I sleep on it and I see if I'm still in the mood for it tomorrow. Exactly. Absolutely. And that was a game changer for me, for myself as emotional. Yeah. Sleeping on my shopping ideas. Sleeping on these 30 pair of trousers. And I have, and it allowed me to obviously even open myself for like more abundance, because it's just easy to just give out, right, overspend and do it. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then suddenly, sometimes it's really magical. I'll wait and it's okay, I was going to buy this book and I didn't, and my friends, I've got this book, I can give it to you. Oh, that was wonderful. So such a yeah. And obviously keep telling people about, telling about what you desire, telling about what you enjoy. If you know what you enjoy to do, if you have someone in the waiting room. And that's another thing I actually removed. I unticked the waiting room thing, and it's just ignoring me. The Zoom literally ignore me today. So I've got Crystal. Hello, Crystal. Is it Crystal? Let me see. I missed it. Yeah. Okay. So does it make? Was it helpful for you that this difference between how to use your emotional wave. Obviously, if you're on a high, on a low, right? This, I was actually speaking to my friend about this wave. And if you're emotional, you're always on the wave, right? Always on the wave. I really suggest that you, if you don't know already, maybe you know, to learn more about your wave, to really get to know how your wave works and get to know this specific channel that defines your solar plexus. Um, then and then you're gonna observe yourself, and you're gonna stop from yourself also from I don't know, let's say using this emotional wave even to speak for before you, and it can really save so much hassle. When I actually, my wave is 35-36, and it's a deep emotional wave. So what wave, let me know what wave you have. Karen, you've got right, you've got the individual 39-55. Yeah, so learn more about the wave. I'm not going to cover all the waves here. I would be talking for another hour to cover all the waves, but learn more about this channel if you haven't, right, already. Then obviously there is pictures. When you Google it, you can see the pictures, how the drawings, how the wave works, but also going deep into the actual channel, you can learn more about this wave. My is 35-36. It's really deep, like emotions, and I can like literally be on the low, and like it's just so deep, such a deep feelings. And I really need to wait this out. Otherwise, it also connects my throat. So if I don't, it just speaks for me. It just speaks for me. Emma, you've got 659. Ola, 30-31. It's a fire one. Yeah, you're on different waves. You're all on different waves, see? And it works differently for us, whether it's individual, collective, or tribal. And so I really encourage you to learn more about this way, this particular channel. It can save you so much hassle. And it will tell you when it's just how it feels to be on the low, especially how it feels to be on the low, because, and then you can, through observation, see what can you do, what can you actually do to prevent you from really being on that low. Because it's about, sometimes for me, it's about when I allow myself to be on this wave, I generally, when I'm on the low, I tend to avoid people. And it works better for me. It just, I don't fancy people, and that's good. And sometimes that's, all these waves are, if you can, sometimes it's, good just to avoid people just until it passes, because you're really not in the mood. And, it's like for me, for manifester, I don't want to impact, anyone with my, horrible mood. And if you manifesting generator, that's as well, it's this, especially if you have the motorized throat, it's sometimes better if you can't, you on the low, stay home, chill a little. Joes, you have the 35 in your Chiron reach. Oh, yes. Does that have an impact too? Yeah, you know what? Because I have you have sacral altar. Yes, generally with these life cycles, right? I have to be honest with you. I don't know much about life cycles. I just know a little. I literally licked just a little the surface. I don't know much about the life cycles. However, they don't override, even though obviously, in the life cycles, you have different charts, whether it's the Saturn return, the first, the second, Chiron return, and all these, like, when you actually check this particle life cycle, you see this chart is just be totally different. Even your incarnation cross changes, right? Everything, pretty much, not everything, but a lot of the things change. But this, even though it's a life cycle, it doesn't override your your natal chart. So because I don't know much about life cycles, I'm not, I don't want to tell you because I don't know. But to me, it's like just always follow your name. It's more about knowing, the way I see it, it's more about knowing, what kind of lessons, what kind of challenges to expect during this transit, but it doesn't override your natal. So I would say, even though the channel Joe's 3536 is defined for you in your Chiron, follow your sacral, and that's, stay with it, carry on with that. You might it might highlight some of the lessons of that channel for you, right? You might see that you are, especially if you maybe in the shadow, right? You're not in the mood, especially, even though I can't remember I know I have your chart in the presentation. Not sure if you have a lot of individual channels and individual gates. If you're an individual, you also have this tendency to be, moody and have this moodiness. Not moody all the time, but I also have individual channel. I can see, when I become moody, and it's this melancholy. I feel this melancholy in my body. This is another time when I usually stay home and I don't see people. I hermit. Yes, I do. And it is, for me, manifestors, I love to be, in my own bubble. I just love to read and just be in my own room, and that's not always possible. Obviously, I've got children that I need to feed and walk to school, but I actually like the melancholy. So that could be some of the lessons for you, but I can't tell you for sure, because I said I don't know much about life cycles. Just removing Karen, just removing the mind stories really helps with, yes, of course, yes, your mind's gonna be so happy when you're on the low. It's just gonna tell you all these stories, and it's gonna, even amplify your openness. You amplify your open centers, and it's just so, and it's, for me, when I'm on the low, I feel that as if my chart was only like, I can only feel the openness, right? There's no define for me, no potential, no strength. I'm on the low, so only, feel the openness. So also knowing your openness, right? Knowing when you pulled, when your mind pulls you to make decisions from your openness, to when the, tells you all these stories, but also see, we can't stop the mind. It's not possible, right? It's not possible. We can fool it. We can kind of like find the way to fool it, and the mind, it really, needs all these affirmations to because it wants to be sure that it's safe, and it wants to think that it, it can make you can that it has the power, right? So you can make a decision based on what it says. We can't stop it. We can't stop it. We can just observe it. So that's, I think, the lesson for all of us, just to observe the mind and to keep observing, and literally not stopping the stories, because, as I said, it's not possible, but not jumping on it, not making decisions from it. And it's difficult, especially when you're on the low. Like, I was on the low yesterday, and I cried for about an hour. I cried like a baby, honestly, just like a baby. I was on this low. I feel much better today, and I didn't see anything. I only see what I didn't have. I only saw what I didn't have. Only saw what I lack. It's just, that's where we are sometimes, and yeah. So stay home, stay home, hermit if you can, and just observe it. Not listening to the stories. Yes, not listening, just observe it, but not listening. Like, okay, that's your story. Here we go again. I know this story. Sometimes, what I chit chat with my mind, and I was like, okay, you know what? Thank you for reminding this. I'm like, okay, thank you for reminding this. I'm not doing it, right? I'm not making decisions from that. But I'm like, okay, thank you for reminding this. Sometimes it helps. Most of the time it does. Right. Is it? I wonder if I actually covered you. I think I covered. Is it? Do you have any questions around these waves or the authority? Well, obviously, I'll be talking about sacral more. But is it? Wait, do you have any more questions now up until? No, no. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So I asked you about the sacral. Have you figured it out, right? So, like Karen, you shared that you have this flow, and yeah, or if you don't want something, then yeah, it can contract. You have to go. Okay, just to know that's okay. Yes, no problem. Absolutely. Yes, that's fine. Obviously that'll be uploaded onto YouTube if you want to watch it, so that's okay. I'll let you know. Probably won't be. I'll probably upload it after the weekend. I don't think I'll manage to do it anytime now. So this is the sacral. I would like to encourage you, right? So because what is the sacral? The sacral obviously is the motor that it's kind of like it speaks through you. So do you often hear yourself going or do you often hear yourself doing this? Let me know, please, either in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Do you hear yourself saying this?
Yeah. Yeah, but for me, it's also like Karen said, for me, it's also in the body. It's physical, like I'm very enthusiastic like this or like this. And but I work with my eyebrows. So you can, if you, I'm very expressive. So so when I think this is moving, then I'm like, okay, no. And yeah, now when it's open, it's open. Yeah.
The face expression, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but yeah, but also with sound. So it's yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, you know what? What I actually sometime I was about oh God, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. I was a generator girl. I did a coaching for her. She bought a package and and I did this coaching for her. And she shared with me that people, obviously when she was little, when she was a young girl, and her moms like literally warned her every time that she was going because she was like her body literally like spoke through her, but she wasn't allowed to. And that's what you can see is like perhaps that's what by our parents that can be seen as like a bad manner, like, oh, are you like say say yes say yes, go yes or no, you need to speak clearly instead of like making these noises. That can also be seen as like kind of like bad manner, from that's what most of us are taught literally. So but that's a beautiful thing, right? Having a body that can speak through you, right? It's like, especially when you have this conversation, like ping pong conversation with someone. I encourage you, honestly, what can you do? That's a question, but it's like, what can you do to open your body to allow, these sounds go through you? Because when I observe my son, I'm a generator son, all the time, like all day, he makes these noises, right? That he doesn't talk in words, but his sacral always speaks. Whether he wants to play with the toys, like he's like literally, I can hear the sacral wanting to go on the swing, right? That's beautiful. So that wouldn't fool you, right? That wouldn't fool you. So what can you do to, obviously you have this beautiful pool that you want, that's perfect, that's perfect that you can feel this and follow that. But also, on the top of that, what can you do, to open your body and allow to speak through you? That's another thing, because if you have this ping pong conversation with someone and someone tells you something, you respond, say something back, and going like I don't agree with this. And then that's another like layer, to it's like you can hear yourself. Okay, I was saying but I'm like, I'm not happy with something. Okay, of course you might not have the energy for this, or even that could be also the indication from your cycle that you stop responding, that okay, that person's tired me out, I'm done. And if you start responding to something, you just walk away. Can you actually see, can you actually see that you speak to someone and then you suddenly just, your body pulls you in a different direction because it just doesn't want to keep engaging into, with this person. Yeah, you've had enough. You've had enough. You don't have energy to carry, yeah, your body just dissociates. That's beautiful. And listen to it. Just okay, I'm just going somewhere else. I'm off. And of course, that can be seen as someone who doesn't know that, oh, she's been ignoring me, she doesn't want to speak to me, and all these things. But you just don't have energy to carry on this conversation, and don't, right? Because you have the energy, because you are the energy type, it doesn't mean that you can just freely give your energy away, right? Your energy is not just to give away for free, it's yours. You need to learn, right, how to invest. It's an investment of your energy. It's not that you have energy, so then you do this, you do that, you do everything, just because you have this energy, and then what, you just exhausted. It's not even evening, and then halfway through the day, it's just you're exhausted. It's because why, you just gave away your energy. You didn't follow the response. For surely your sacral didn't want to respond to some of the things, and that's another lesson for you. And it comes with a challenge to really know, to learn how to invest your energy, your precious energy, because it's precious energy. It's not there to just give it away to people. Yeah. Do you see that this tendency that you obviously, that you have this tendency to give your energy just too freely, to invest in the wrong things that obviously would be probably where you don't follow the sacral? Can you see this? Can you feel this sometimes? That, yeah, of course. And it's all like, sometimes the missing hit. It's all about experimenting and really knowing. And I even encourage you to make mistakes. Like, okay, my sacral wanted to do this, or my sacral didn't want to. I do it and see, what happens. Okay, that doesn't work out good. Well, yes, my sacral didn't respond to that. It was right, and I know I learned this lesson. It just knows. Okay, now I think, yeah, so this we've talked about the sacral was like allowing your body to, what can you do to open your body, even add these words, or that's beautiful, especially in a conversation. And one more thing, maybe I'll add on to this, the sacral, like, it's something always I see, a lot of generators and manifesting generators struggle with that, is having this and asking people and letting them know that you require specific questions. And Ola says, I'm a third line, mistakes and errors is my way of learning. Yeah, absolutely. And then depending, it's the third line, that could be the third line. And you also third line, Joes, you have the unconscious third, I remember. And we all, not all, but most of us, we have third line somewhere, right? I'm 5'1" profile, but I think I have 6 third lines in my profile, in the whole chart. Sorry, no profile, sorry, my whole chart. So I also have the third lines. And I honestly, what I hate is like bumping into things. I honestly bump into things all the time. I get into furniture. It's unbelievable. I'm like, I always blame those third lines. Yeah, I honestly laugh at myself often. It's like, how did I manage to bump into this chair? I had so much space. Yeah, so but also depending on the channel, I'm not sure what I will see your channel, because I have your chart, Ola. but also, you know, there like there's a channel connecting sacral and root. Is the channel 40 to 53. Is the I can't remember. It's the channel of experience, experiment, something like that. Something to do with experimenting. I can't remember the name for this channel. And this channel wants to experiment, right? So obviously you might just, your sacral might want to, you know, say yes to something just for the sake of experiencing something, and it might not work out very well. I mean, you might be okay, why actually, you know, engage into this situation? It's just because, you know, there was a lesson, your sacral responded to that because I wanted to gain some experience, and that's the life. You know, there's always lessons, something. You know, I always like to think that there are no failures, there are no mistakes, really. They're all lessons. And I encourage you to see life through that lens as well. That there are no mistakes, they're all lessons. And I also have this channel 35, 36 is the channel, you know, that likes to experience something just for the sake of sometimes experiencing.
Hi, Rob.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, Chris.
Yeah,
Do you have want to say something, Chris?
I am good. Rob, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Would you like to add something, or do you have any questions? Oh, because you unmuted yourself. That's why I'm asking, because you're unmuted yourself, or it was a I don't know. You was kind of like you didn't want me to mute yourself, or right? No response. So maybe I mute. If not a response, I just presume that your sacred didn't want to, and that's okay. That's really beautiful. I didn't want to, respond to what I say to my talk, and that's really good. That's okay. Right. Oh, it's questions, right? I started with the questions. So I see that as a game changer. Every time I have sessions with generators, manifesting generators, I really make sure that you start telling people that you need more questions, right? That you need specific questions. And what I can actually see, that's okay, Chris. That's not a problem. I kind of thought that that was kind of accident. That's okay. That's not a problem at all. What I actually heard from some of the generators, manifesting generators, that you don't want to ask questions because some of you, or maybe you too, you don't want to be seen as stupid, right? Or don't want to be as silly, like, oh, I'm not going to ask questions because that might sound silly. I just don't want to be, you know, seen as a fool, or that I don't know something. Do you see that you might resist having more details and asking more questions because you don't want to be seen as fool, stupid, or someone who... Is this something that you see? Yeah, that might be because for your sacral has to know, right? It has to know more details, and we need to learn. I need to learn myself to inform you better as a manifestor, right? To ask you, and I also ask questions. No, the informing is a one thing, but when I know that I have a manifesting generator husband, and if I want him to be correct with me, I ask him questions. I don't just inform, I ask him questions, because that's how he can tap into his own truth. You know, he won't necessarily respond to me informing him, because in this me informing him, this information, there's not enough details. And it's like, so don't fear to ask more questions, because it might be too generic for your sacred to respond. If I ask you, right, do you want to run a business with me? And it's like, okay, but what type of business, right? What actually am I investing in? You need to know what you invest in. You have precious energy. It doesn't mean that you need to know what you engage in. It doesn't mean that you can just, okay, let's just do it. But then you don't know what's actually involved in that. You need to know these details. So ask, even like, I had a session some time ago with a couple. It was actually mainly with her. wife. She's a manifesting generator, and it was the biggest challenge in the household was actually dinner time. Her husband was the main cook, right? So every time he asked her, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" That's not much information. That's not enough information for you to respond to. Or if you know what you want to eat, what you fancy, that's okay. Of course, sometimes you know, but sometimes we're like, I don't know. Do you see that even that it can be challenging sometimes, right? So that was the main thing, how they literally pretty much every day argued about around food. When you see this kind of like, okay, it's just a way of communicating better, but they just didn't know. So luckily they came to the session and they learned to be more specific. So now he doesn't just ask her, what do you fancy to eat? What you want me to cook? Is like, be more specific. What do you want? Pizza or do you want pasta? And when I ask my generator son, I literally give him some option. Like, he needs to know, right? I don't know, red plate or green plate. Because that can be a struggle for a 3-year-old as well, on what color is the plate. But it's, yeah, but even the food, right? So I really encourage you to ask people to ask you questions, to be more specific. And let's say you look for a job, right? You're looking for a job, and then you've got offered 3 jobs, right? And you don't know, they all seem to be quite okay. Obviously, your sacral responded to apply for it. You got offered 3 jobs, and they all seem to be good. You don't know. You've got 3 offers, you don't know. So in this instance, I encourage you to have someone to ask you this specific question. Let's say it's a job, it's an accountant position somewhere, right? So then you ask, I don't know, whether you have a partner, friend, or I had a session and the lady suggested that she was going to ask, oh, what is this called? Alexa. This smart thing at home that some people have. I don't, but there's like an Alexa that you can ask Alexa to ask you questions. That's actually a great way. If you have Alexa, use her. She's there for you. You pay for her. So if you have Alexa, you can also use her. Or as I said, friend, or you can even record yourself on the phone and ask yourself or ask this person to ask you a specific question, right? Okay, do you want to work as an accountant for BMW? And then, okay, do you want to work as an accountant for bakery and co? And then, okay, see, that's what you have. So that being specific, like you have 3 offers and be specific, asking yourself and having someone to ask you these specific questions. And as I said, food, be specific. You need to have specific questions. What do you want to eat? What else? Jules, I asked my husband to ask me some question on which I should, or I could answer with yes or no, and I noticed it was yes. I was revealed to finally give me an answer instead of asking questions back. Yes, yes, it's beautiful. Like to really have someone that this person can ask you a specific, really be as specific as possible. Why? Sacral needs to know what it invests in, whether it has the energy for that or it doesn't. It just needs to know all the details. It's like my husband, he doesn't know much about human design. He's not really into that. However, he surprises me how actually aligned he is with his design. And I'm not sure if you actually read, about 2 months ago, I posted, I did a post on that. This is how we had this discussion with my husband, that for the last 20 years, when it comes to like, career and job offers, all the jobs that he accepted, they came to him. So that's what happens, right? If you follow your strategy and authority and you just respond, you keep responding, following your sacral, you're really tune in with your sacral, it won't fool you. And this is what happens, that life literally comes to you. and it does. It honestly does. You might not see always, or especially if you're on the low emotional wave, you don't see that. You maybe see when you're on the higher. But generally, that is honestly, I observe and can be seen that life comes to you if you follow your authority, if you are aligned, to your energy type. And that's, with my husband for the last 20 years, of course, he initiated some of the applications. Nothing, right? Not even an answer, not even a thank you, not accepted or not successful this time, nothing. All the jobs he got accepted, he accepted, actually came to him. So what he did, you might actually wonder, so what he did, he applied his, he uploaded his CV onto Indeed. We have Indeed in UK, I'm not sure what you probably have, maybe Indeed as well, or some other platforms. And obviously people, or there's a LinkedIn as well. He's not on LinkedIn, he only did Indeed, but you can also do LinkedIn if it's something quite popular in your country. But there might be some other platforms. Apply your CV and see what life brings to you. That's another option. Obviously, on the top of that, talk to people, because there's always someone who knows someone who is looking for an employee. And that's how these jobs come to, also to generators, manifesting generators. It's really beautiful for me to observe my husband, especially him and other my friends, how they don't apply for jobs and these jobs come to them, because they said there's always someone who knows someone. Your client, unless his clients come this way, yes, and or through referral as well, often, right? That there's always someone who knows someone, and it just life literally pulls opportunities towards you if you allow yourself to see it, if you are open for that. And obviously that's another thing with initiating. We are taught to, like, okay, go after things, right? Just initiate things. You want this, go after it. And how, yes, we just not taught to that life can be easier. The life honestly can come to you, and it's a beautiful thing. Is it quite clear? Do you have any questions? Just encourage you to unmute. So then my next step will be to have the charts and see. Do you have any questions, or you okay? No? Is it clear? Yeah. I'll be reading on my screen here. I've got cramps. Let me. Sure. Okay, I've got these charts. First, I'm gonna be quick because it's something we have. What is this thing here? Oh gosh, I want to have this on this bigger screen, but I'm not sure that's not the first one. Is it? I need to check. I'm not sure if it's this first chart. It is. Okay. So we've got Crystal. Crystal's live with us here. I'm not sure if she's still here, but yes, I think she is still here. So I struggle a lot with my authority. Obviously, I've probably covered a lot of that already, but we can just do a little recap, and I want to give you some pointers. I struggle a lot with my authority. So many insights you have on that would be helpful. And the insight of I'm triple split, logical mind. Yes, so you are logical mind. Emotional authority, sacral response, sense of self are all separate. Combined with my open spleen that's addicted to holding on people and running on the spontaneity, yeah, and holding on what's not healthy for you, probably, it makes things very difficult. Let's see right? So you have the channel, your sacral channel. Let me see the split. I can see, so you have one mental split, which is the ajna and throat. So that we've got opinions, and we have a root and solar plexus. Okay. And your sacral channel is 1034. And see that this is actually, you know, it's my favorite channel when it comes to, not my favorite one, when it comes to this channel 1034, this is the channel, right? I really encourage you to learn more about this specific channel, because this channel, literally the energy of this channel, because it connects your G center, your identity, your truth, right? It's like your identity with your motor, with the sacral response. So this specific channel leads you to the right direction if you follow your sacral response. It's like that's an extra like help for your sacral, because you, with this G center connected to your sacral, it's like the G, like it like knows itself, right? It knows itself, so it has this power to know what it identifies with. So I think we have covered a lot about how the sacral response is. So I would like you to really like follow this like breadcrumbs. Start small. See whether it's a pull, you feel this pull in the body, or maybe that's another thing, to open yourself, your throat that much that what you can actually do to open your throat, to open yourself, so then your sacral can literally speak for you with or sort of this, and follow this, like follow breadcrumbs. Start small. You can then start like with these daily activities, like, okay, asking yourself, do you want tea? Do you want coffee? And then start small. Daily little tiny activities until you figure out how, in what way your sacral speaks to you and or through you. So that's how I would say. And obviously with triple split, it's like, because sometimes what is observed is that if you have like split, let's say like projector split, right? So the split could be, especially if obviously you in the shadow, you could more behave like a projector, right? Because that's the split. If you allow to make decisions from your mind, your mind is going to decide how you, and probably for the mind it would be the ajna. It will be probably the 1762, I think the 1762. It would probably pull you to this. So so my suggestion is just start small, like follow like breadcrumbs, learn how your sacral speaks through you, and that is gonna help you. And just follow this, and then once go bigger. Use this all the time, like as often as you can, as often as you feel this. And you have wide open spleen. Yes, obviously holding on was not healthy for you. And if people define you as like clinging on to them because you have this sense of safety with them, even though your sacral screams, no, that's not a good person for you, let's say. So that is something that can help. Obviously you're emotional, so bigger decisions, wait, right? And what I've said before as well. I'm gonna check. Are you here with us? You're here. Is it quite clear for you? Are you on me? You can unmute yourself. Oh, you're at work, or you can write. Just let me know. That makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, start small. Don't think that you need to figure it out all by tomorrow or by next week. Starting small. It's starting somewhere. Okay, who we have here? Angela. I'm not sure if we have Angela here. Who's here with us? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think there's Angela here. When I have a response, I get very action oriented. I want to do it right away, and I get an anxious feeling in my sacral, like I'm missing an opportunity. How can I stay patient and not have an anxiety? Same as for frustration. Actually had a thought and it's gone. I was actually what it was. I wanted to say something when it comes to waiting. I know what I wanted to say, but before I actually answer this question, I had this thought to, you know, how also like obviously the your strategy is in human design is called wait to respond, right? So my actually suggestion for you would be respond without waiting. It's like this waiting is quite confusing because it makes you feel that you have to wait for something, right? Whereas your sacral center responds all the time. So it's not about waiting, it's about following this response, right? So wait without waiting. Does it make sense? Right. So what I want to actually point here, Angela, is that you want to, you're very action oriented. You are, right? I'll tell you where. You've got this channel 2036. So this channel is kind of like the channel of busyness. It's not its name, but it's like really, it's very busy. And you are this very quick person, and you are action oriented, right? Because if you've got something to do, you just do it right away. What's the shadow with this energy is the when you are busy, just for the sake of being busy. So that's the shadow for this channel. I'm not sure if any of you also has this channel. Do you have this channel? Any of you? 2036? No. This channel, if it's in shadow, it just keeps itself busy all the time. And you know what? You mentioned here about that you have this anxiety that you miss on something. And this, because if you see it this way, if you keep yourself busy just for the sake of keeping yourself busy, just for the sake of doing and being and working and just doing all the time, it's really easy to miss your sacral response because you just occupied with something, right? You're not really present with your body because you're busy. So really watch, and like especially you or all of you with this channel, or any of you with this channel, to really know, even like really know what you invest your energy in, because you might just be too busy to respond. You're just too busy because you're just, occupied. You're just literally unavailable. That's another the word that, Ra, when he talks about this channel, he said that these people are unavailable. Yeah, because you're just too busy to respond. So yes, make sure what you invest in. And also, you have this you want to stay patient and not have this anxiety. So your anxiety can come obviously like from this busyness, but also you have undefined root center, right? So for undefined root center, it's the lesson is how the conditioning of stress. Root is responsible for adrenaline and for stress levels. So you might feel this stress of others that might not necessarily actually be your stress, right? It might not necessarily be your pressure. It won't be your pressure because there's no pressure. You feel the external pressure. You might maybe you tap into the stress and adrenaline of other people, and that's not necessarily your thing, but because you're busy, you just don't even pay attention to. So that would be my suggestion. As an MO generator, my biggest challenge is waiting to respond. I don't feel like things come to me. I feel I have to chase them. I have been misaligned for so long. I don't know what I like or what I feel joy and satisfaction without joy. Without joy is the magnetic generator aura off. Yes, the magnetic generator aura is off without joy. How do I get this magnet turned back on? Starting small, following breadcrumbs, following sacral response. You always respond. See, you always respond to things, to coffee, tea, to am I going out or staying in? What film am I watching, right? Do I want to go out to see my friend? Do I want to stay in? Actually, what friend I want to, go and see? Do I want to feel? Do I want to see Julie? Do I want to see Brenda? Starting small and following this one step at a time, especially for you, generator, and enjoy, right? What is really when you follow this, right, and follow what your sacred response to. Does it give me joy? How do I feel? Does it light me up? Am I satisfied? Do I feel the satisfaction? We feel the frustration right away if it's not something. So yes, so the magnetic aura of generator or manifesting generator is off without joy. That's why when it's often like in the description you can read that generators manifesting generator are here to work. No, you are here to do what you love. Right? Of course, that could involve working, but that's no. You are here to do what you love. That's what you're here to do. That might involve working, but might not. So yeah. So that is. Let me actually see the respond. Okay, you actually have a very defined sacral. So this is this bonding here, the 59.6. And this is intuitive energy. My friend, I have one of my generative friends. She's got this channel 5734, and it's such a beautiful intuitive energy. She's actually soul reader. She is such an intuitive. She speaks to spirits and is a very intuitive energy, and like tapping into this and following. Okay, where is this poo? Where my body is going, or is this through my body? Does my body speak? And learning, have a lot of openness and learning more about your openness and seeing, okay, where you can be pulled. Am I pulled to make a decision from my open centers? Open G center, open head center. It's like, receiving ideas of others, trying to follow direction of others. But that won't, if it's not for you, your sacral won't respond to this. It would be more like a mental response. But that's not the body, right? If this is not your idea, if it came just from your open head, if it came from your open ego, let's see, the wide open ego, wide open head. So there will be lots of directions coming your way, direction of others, lots of ideas on what to do, want to respond to. Most of it won't be for you. Most of it is not yours. So that is really super important for you to get to know your body, get to know how your body speaks to you and through you. And opening your body, what I've already said probably a few times, how you can open your body so while in a conversation you can go and seeing, right, and then you can hear yourself. It's super important here. Right, question I have about my cross, I guess, and I have been very stuck on my sun gate 59. That's like interesting because that's my purpose. That's also my incarnation cross. And the generic question of where do I go next? What do I do now? You just went through your Chiron return, open the healing. Okay, so what do you do now next? I don't know. Your sacral will tell you. See, this is the thing. You don't know what the future brings. You just don't know. With sacral authority, you only know in the now. You don't know what your sacral is gonna respond to next week. It's not possible to know. Of course, you are emotional. So then you have the sacral response, You write your wave if it's a major decision, and then you go back to your sacral and ask for reassurance, like to really clarify it, because it's going to respond again. And again, integrative channels, right? You could be busy just for the sake of being busy with the channel 2034, but you also have this individual energy. What Crystal, what I've mentioned when I cover Crystal, is like really leading you into the right direction, like so that for things that are in tune with your identity, with who you are. And 37, 34 as well, this really deep intuition, but this intuition is only in the now. Again, this one, no, it's not like you can predict your future, or maybe you can, maybe you're psychic and you can, but I'm just generally this energy is in the now, right? That intuition is in the now. So being grounded in the now moment, and following. So the 59 your sun. What I'm gonna do, who is this? Oh, that's Karen. She's not here. That's Karen's. Yeah. So she's gone, I think. What I'm gonna do, Karen, I'm going to send you description from the book On the Cross, because I like to see, that's for maybe all of you, how I like to cover crosses, incarnation crosses, right? I do them both ways. I love gene keys. I'm a gene key guide, so I'm in the gene key community, and I love to contemplate on specific gene keys. So I personally like to do like a gene key way. So I contemplate or read each specific gate that is in your incarnation cross, right? And then I see how it unfolds. Unless I need more time, you won't know right away. You need to observe yourself, really. That's all. That's actually the opposite to you, I think. I think you're. I'm not sure if that's also your incarnation cross, but just in different order. So that's how I do it. But on the top of that, I like to read the description of the incarnation cross. I've got, the Jovian, this book, Ra's book on crosses. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to send you a screenshot on your message, on your messenger, so then you can get to know your cross from the cross point of view. But I also encourage you to contemplate on each of the gates. And the 59, that's actually my purpose. The 59 is the barrier breaker, right? So it's like, so you're a manifesting generator and your aura is wide open. But that's also the order to break the 59. With the 59 is the barrier breaker. It's like you break the barriers. You can even like, and I'm not sure how it works for you. I wish you were here. For me, my 59 is unconscious for me, right? So it's a little different, but I'm kind of conscious now. People like to tell me these secrets, like literally, like people, and as a manifester with this gate particularly, I feel that I'm more approachable for people because it's a barrier breaker, right? And people love to tell me these stories. People love to tell me these secrets. And people share with me such a stuff that stories that they don't share with most people, right? I meet people in the park, right? They come to me, or usually it's like I break this barrier with saying hi, and then they respond. It's like they tell me their life stories. It's like they love to tell me these things. So that's how I see the 59. But also, knowing when enough is enough. You have the sacral, so like knowing whether you want to, your sacral keeps responding to these stories, keeps responding to this deep stuff that people generally share with you. Anyone as well have this 59, and that this is something that you also resonate with? That people like to share with you these secrets, like people like to tell you their life stories. Like I hear stories that these people don't share this story with probably even they close family or friends. Like honestly, this is something that allows is the body break. I'm more like approachable for them. Obviously, I need to say hi first. It's like I need to initiate it, right? And then when I open my mouth, it's like, okay, the pressure is gone. I'm approachable. Do you have anyone here with this? Ola, you probably have this. Is it? Do you have this? You do. Yeah. No, you don't. Sorry. No, you have the 8 and 14. Maybe none of you here did live with me of this gate. Or you can share with me if you watch on YouTube. Please share with me. You have the 59, and if that's resonates with you with the 59. Okay. Natalie, I wonder if in this lifetime on Earth I'll find my true niche. Study many modalities. It seems none fitting 100%. I got fear exposing myself, over procrastinated for my life. When it comes to others, I'm 100% not looking back. My relationship is neutral. This is what stops me from my dreams myself. By not fully, I don't fully understand human design. Really hard to ask questions. Yes. Okay. So what stops you? I can tell you what stops you. Obviously, your mind. Okay. So you have motorized fraud, and I'll tell you what is you have open head and open ajna, and it's like your mind is like probably washing machine on the spinning. That's how I call it, my own mind. That's how my mind is, even though I have different configuration, but it's for open head, open ajna, and defined fraud is like motorized fraud, shall say. It's like washing machine on spinning, right? It just never stops. It never stops. And it tells you all these stories, right? It tells you all these things, why you shouldn't do something. And it really feeds the stories, also your mind feeds the stories of your open ego, undefined ego. You have undefined ego. And this is what is your, perhaps one of the biggest enemies here is your ego telling you you're not ready, that you don't know enough, that you need to study more, you need to do more courses, you need to do more modalities because you've studied many modalities already. And you feel that you don't know. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you would like, sit, write down. I really encourage you to write down all the modalities you've studied, like everything, all you've studied, and put it in everything what you can do with this, and see either if you can see if your sacred responds to what's on the paper, or speak to someone and ask this person to ask you questions, to tap into your truth, to allow your sacred to respond to the right thing, and try it and see. It doesn't stop there. And see if it gives you joy and satisfaction. Actually, obviously start from it, right? Write down your modalities and see what you like, what you enjoy, right? Start obviously from that. But then if you decide to do something, also see if it gives you the satisfaction, does it light you up, or you feel frustration. And remember, your ego, your undefined ego, is always going to tell you stories about how much you don't know. It might want you to prove yourself and to study even more. And in this instance, right, I really want to highlight something. You have the channel 1648, and is the channel of talent. What it actually means, it means that you can master many skills, but the condition is that you master things and skills through repetition. And for the person with this channel, there's no way you have no skills, right? You've got many skills in your medicine bag. Your medicine bag is generally full, but it doesn't mean that you have to do it all. You can choose whatever to do, pick from a medicine bag what gives you joy and satisfaction, and then you put it together. And your ego won't stop. So, and there's no way, I even, I had this conversation with my friend. Can we actually heal? It's like, because ego is the story, I'm not enough. I don't know enough. I'm not worthy. I don't know enough, I'm not enough. It's like we had this conversation. It's like, can you actually go to, I know, hypnotherapist or heal the trauma? Because this is how we heal this trauma of not feeling that you're enough. And I believe there are a lot of things that you can heal through, body work, through some modalities. But and that's what human design is, that's your mechanic. So you never ever heal 100% from this story. So your mind won't stop telling you this story, right? No matter how much you heal this thing, this aspect, it might be easier, obviously, for after some work, but you're never clear 100% of these stories, never. So it's more about feel it and do it, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway. And your mind tells you you're not ready, because that's what I feel it's all about, right? That you've done so much, studied so much, and you still don't feel, you procrastinate. It's actually, procrastination is probably this fear that you don't know enough, you're still not ready. It's like, okay, that's what it tells me. Do you really want to listen? That's your choice. Do you really want to wait any longer? Like, waiting, let's say we meet this time next year and you're still waiting and you still have the same stories. This time, in 10 years time, still the same stories, because it won't stop. So just, say to me, okay, thank you for reminding me that. But I'm just not listening to you. Is there a reason, as a pure generator, that I have blocked my tears? I'm purchasing the Venus sequence course through Gene Keys, as I have attempted so many modalities to open my heart and be able to find my tears with very little success. The Venus series does seem to hold the promise in helping me to navigate the traumas that cause me to close down my ability to access the emotions that would allow my tears to flow. Okay, so what I'm actually seeing here, I'll tell you what I see. Who is this? Lisa. So what I'm actually seeing here in your chart is open emotional center, open solar plexus, right? And what I'm actually seeing here is gate 1. On the top of the emotional, you have gate 1, and it's unconscious because it's red, and it's your north node, is your north node. So in correlation, even though obviously gate 1 is in the G center, right? But the gate 1, and I also have gate 1, and I also have it unconscious. And then this is something I consciously didn't know about until I learned Gene Keys. That, the gate 1, Gene Key 1, is carries the shadow of numbness, right? So anyone with gate 1, please look your numbness in its eyes. Look closer to your numbness, because gate 1 has this tendency in the shadow frequency to pull you into numbness. That it's just easy to numb yourself instead of feeling all these feelings. And see, with open solar plexus, it's like you just feel all the feelings, right? Like you walk across the street, you walk along the street, and you feel all the feelings. You speak to someone, and you feel its feelings. You feel your own feelings, and you feel this person's feelings, and you feel all these emotions. So see, I actually, the way I see this, how I feel about this question, your chart, is that you learned, it was like, what's this called, this mechanism? Defense mechanism, that you, that the numbness is actually this defense mechanism from not feeling. You just learn that you have open solar plexus. It's wide open. It's like there's no activation. It's like you just feel all as it is. Like you just take it all in. And so this is how you've probably, as a young person, you felt safe by numbing yourself, numbing your body from feelings. And that's what I feel that might have caused that. And that's good that you do that you do in the Venus. Venus is really deep, and I'm sure you can learn more about the Venus. Is more about how you respond, right? What's your emotional intelligence, how it affects you, how it triggers you. But it's, I would suggest here for you to work with your body, you know, to do body work and look this numbness in his eye, locate where in your body you have this numbness, and release that, right? That's my suggestion. Pure MG 3-5. Come to understand that my emotions are quiet and that my need to get involved with helping others is likely connected to my wanting peace for myself, wanting them fixed sick so I can feel calm because they come. Or yes, you don't want to feel their feelings. See, you want to fix it, do things for them because you just don't want, don't want to feel their feelings. Yeah, so that's what I'm suggesting here. And I just do it because otherwise it's just you come, I'm calm, of course, open undefined solar plexus. My mission is to start a business that connects people with whatever resource they need to support their own growth. I've always been a cheerleader for people. Of course, you're a fifth line. Fifth line is great at cheerleading other people, but what fifth line? And I've learned is, oh my goodness, it's a hard way for me. It's really knowing, I'm a manifestor. Is it? Is an energy type. I don't have sacral, right? So I really need to be mindful. It's like, but I've learned this. Like, what do I need to contribute? What I contribute my energy in? Do I really want to contribute the energy that I don't quite have to fix someone? Do I have this energy? Sometimes I do, sometimes, but most of the time I don't. So that's for you as well. And the integration channel, see, it's all unconscious. That's why you're not conscious of it, that you just keep yourself busy. Maybe you keep yourself busy for the sake of being busy, but you don't know because it's unconscious. So the fifth line is the fixer. The fifth line really needs to learn this lesson, that you know that you don't need to fix everyone, you don't need to bring solution to everyone, and be extra mindful where you spend your energy on. And I can spill over to being over involved in their lives, something cannot do with clients. Yes, of course, I kind of blame the fifth line here, and it's unconscious. So that's not something that you probably, well, you're conscious, but you know this, but you might not be conscious of your how unfolds really of the like moment to moment. You just jump in, right? You jump in because you don't want to feel the feelings. You just just want them calm. So then you do it for them. You fix things, and then you have energy, right? Pure manifesting generator. You have this, right, like lots of energy, but then you're probably exhausted because you invest in too much and into things that you don't want to, and your sacral doesn't want to. How can I honor myself while helping others? What structures do I need in place to ensure my success? What I want, is there anything I want to add here? How can I also want helping others? Right, I can tell you, you have the gate of contribution, gate 8. So that's kind of this very similar story to how I learned. I was such a saver, right? I would do, like in the past, I would exhaust myself just for the sake of helping other people. That's what I was. But gate 8, what is your gate 8? Let me see. It's your south node, and here, and it's your Venus. So that's your Venus, like your values, and it's your south node. So the gate 8 again, motorized fraud, the gate, and plus the fifth line, right? So I'm just talking like, again, being busy for the sake of being busy. Putting together the fifth line, the fixer, unconscious, and your gate 8, the gate of contribution. Your lesson, obviously, and your challenge here is to know where you contribute to what you contribute your energy in. You have the energy, but not for everything. So again, sacral, tap into your sacral. Everything, guys, you do, your sacral is always first. Like, no matter what you do, check it with your sacral. No matter what you do, just check in with your sacral, and then other things follows. If sacral first, then does it give me joy? Does it give me satisfaction? What do I feel? Right? And then so on. So knowing how to contribute your energy, and is like, do I really want to contribute in that? Okay, well, that's a long one. And what was that? Okay, okay, let me see. I used to be an incredible, energetic, healthy, and super strong person. I was able to push through and do the work of 3 people. Of course, you're a generator, manifesting generator, and quickly, probably manifesting generator. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. What cross? Oh, that's my incarnation cross. I was constantly doing things for other people and didn't know how to say no. 5th line again. Family, friends often didn't allow me to say no when I tried. And I was always under pressure, completely open root and open head center. Yes, of course. So I want to stop here and do this. Again, what I've said already, the 5th line fixer, please, 5th lines, learn this lesson. Try to learn this. There's so much to know that you can fix everything. You know to fix everything. Of course, you're great at providing solutions, but doesn't mean you have to provide it for every single person and being that comes your way. It's a lesson for us to know where and when, not to exhaust yourself and overcommit yourself. So, and obviously, like, your family doesn't want you to say no. Of course they don't. They want to use you. They want your energy. They want your energy. They want them to, because they see you as a fixer. They know that you can do this better, but because you're 5-1, they don't even, you probably don't have much appreciation from your family, because it's generally we're not quite for family. Like, we know this community people, we are for strangers. So strangers see you, see your strengths, see your potential, see you as you are, but your family then don't really see you for who you are. And they just want to use you. They want to use your energy. And the fixer, they want you to save them. 5 years ago, pushed myself too much to do things for other people, despite being extremely exhausted after a minor surgery and severe sleep deprivation. Right, sleep deprivation. What I also said, remember, as a generator, to run out of gas before you go to sleep. You need to exhaust yourself, to clear your energy before you go to sleep. Otherwise, that's easy for a generator to be to have sleep problems. If you go to sleep with energy, right, having still some energy. What am I? And I didn't listen to my body, wanting to say no to friends pushing for work. Yes, you became chronically ill. Yeah, that's the price. You just, yes, that's the price. And as yeah, you know, this stress, adrenaline, feeling other people's stress and adrenaline, and even, you know, holding on to it. Knowing where you contribute to your energy is so important. And this gate of contribution is your incarnation cross, and it's like in Gene Keys, between your sun life's work and your evolution, this is the pathway of challenge. So tap into that. Where am I have chronic fatigue. Yes, like, you know, exhausting yourself just for the sake of helping people and giving this energy for free, contributing to what your sacral said no, because it didn't have energy for huge change, because I used to be so incredibly tireless, energetic is real real powerhouse. Yeah, your son. Oh yeah, you know, your son is 14. I really miss dancing the most. I used to dance with so much joyous energy, but I'm just too fatigued to dance now. Having emotional authority makes it for hard to hear the that the defined sacral center makes. When I'm on the top of the emotional web, I think I want to do something. And if I wait to write the bottom emotional web, and I see, let it settle more, and as I'm supposed to, I get to place of uncertainty. Yes, of course, because you are an incarnation cross of uncertainty. Your incarnation cross is called the cross of uncertainty, and it's like, and it's learning to trust in the unknown, right? It's like you never know. And with open head and open ajna, you are not here to be certain. We don't know anything for sure. And our perspective on things changes, right? It changes. So yeah, that's the cross of uncertainty. You're never gonna be certain. With open head, open ajna, first thing, never certain, no way. And cross of uncertainty is like literally, it's a lesson to take a leap into the unknown and throw yourself into the unknown without, you don't know how it's going to unfold. If your sacral, you had this pull, just trust it. You don't know how it's gonna work out. So emotional, but you're not sure. So Karen shared, she's also emotional, that it's this pull, right? She feels this, even though she's emotional, maybe she didn't quite hear the noise, but she mentioned of the pull. So see this both ways, but also, you know, there's the speaking, the sacral speaking through you. It's about that you're close. I mean, because you weren't allowed to, you know, make these noises maybe as a child. So that could, so what we've already also mentioned is like, you know, when in conversation with someone, like open your lips and see if it helps you. So you know, try to make this noise and see and watch whether something feels expansive or it contracts. Is it expansive or it contract? Is your body pulled towards something or it's not? And going from there. And fatigue, it's the fifth line. Your fifth line personality feeds overgiving your sacral energy. Have emotional authority makes, oh, you have already read that. Do I need to connect with, oh no, I'm just saying, sorry, I've got lost. I feel like I'm usually saying no. Now it's not coming from my sacral response. It seems to be a fear response. I wonder what your motivation is. It's said that those with defined spleens, as I have, can be very healthy with great immune system, but the dangerous thing is that they could push themselves and ignore their bodies. This is true until they get very ill. Yeah, this is true. We generally feel fine until this day when we drop on our face. Do I need to connect with people and say yes to some things? Intimacy is required for me to feel healthy, as my design sign is date 59. I'm triple split, so spending days alone on and isn't healthy for me. And the few times I have recovered somewhat to gain energy back and seem to become somewhat of a powerhouse again. The issue, if I push myself, I easily push myself back into illness and complete lack of energy. I've been in my current crash for a couple of years now. My question, how do generators with emotional authority balance riding the waves and emotional being able to listen? Again, how sacral being recovered from burnout conditioning. My open pressure center seems to be part of it. As I used to run on adrenaline, but now adrenaline makes me feel extremely ill and exhausts me. Absolutely, I agree. I have open root. I have also learned to cut people out of my life who manipulated me, who were using me and my labor solely for the benefit and to my own harm. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So we have a lot of similarities here to my chart. I have this channel here, I'm on the same cross. So I really wonder what I would suggest. Obviously, for this, I would say tap into your sacral, see how it responds to you, right? How your sacral speaks to you or through you. Does it pushes you? Do you make sense? Allow yourself for that and follow these breadcrumbs. And then ask yourself, does it bring me joy? Does it bring me satisfaction? And do this. Because when you do what brings you joy and satisfaction, this is how your sacral, your generator, re-energizes itself, right? So you, because you're tired, and with the fifth line feeding, the contributing your energy into the wrong things, that's what have all caused you into this situation, in this illness. And then I would also encourage you to, you know, in genetics, is a genetic matrix, you can generate one chart for free, and then please check your dietary. And because if you have health problems, I would really tap into focus on your dietary and on your environment, and see and align to that as well. That can help you to get back to health, right? Because it's really also very important. Okay. My struggle over years, that's the manifesting generator husband and projector wife. So my struggles over the years with his energy are primarily feeling undated by his intensity, all the words he has to say when he wants to talk, and by his emotional venting. Unlike me, he's very good at venting when he's upset and when he feels better. Unfortunately, I haven't learned how to be a screen, not a sponge, with his energy. He doesn't seem to have a true interest in what I have to share, doesn't hear me when I speak, or interrupts part ways through, or walks out of the room. I know it's not intentional, and he is not passive aggressive. He literally seems to be unaware. And I'm going to stop here, right? So that's the husband and that's the wife. So we can see now the wife, she's got a lot of openness, right? You have a lot of openness. And of course, you could be like a sponge. The husband, he's got defined head, defined sacral with identity. He's actually 1, 2, 3. Triple split we have, and then emotional. This emotion is a tribal emotion, emotional wave, and they can be quite dramatic also at times if they're not in the mood, or they in the low as well. So of course, here you're gonna be like I don't know, wonder why you feel like a sponge, and it's like really important for you is to learn your openness. Of course, I mean, definition first is we start with definition, what your blueprint, but also know the openness well. Is like, because knowing your openness is also going to help you to know where your mind wants you to make decisions from, or what is the thinking that was the story that your mind makes up for you. And yes, of course, we have manifesting generator husband, but if his sacral doesn't respond, you projector. So there's still this invitation. You can obviously, I feel, is in relationships, like wife and husband, generally this relationship, because for projectors, like being really rigid is about this rigidness. It's about really being rigid with strategy and authority. Then some people, I see that they follow it, like they honestly, even in relationships, wait for this invitation for everything. I don't know, this invitation is a funny energy. It's like, and it's of course yours to use it and yours to experiment with. I would definitely not encourage to initiate, to wait as much as possible. But sometimes we know if in a relationship, it's just like sometimes it's quite difficult to, you want to ask something, so you want to go first, and engage. But with manifesting generator husband or generator husband, it's like they like being asked questions, so it's like so they can tap into their sacral and know whether they have the energy to speak to you. And of course he won't always have this energy. He won't always have this energy to listen to what you have got to share, to engage with this. So if you see, because you've noticed that he walks out the room because he stopped responding to that, and of course it's not unconscious, it's not conscious. He doesn't do this to make you feel, I don't know, upset. It's just he's literally unaware of that. He just walks out the room because he's just saying stop responding. Like his body like evacuates him in a way, if I can say it this way. Yeah, so my advice would be to ask him question, if you ask him question to invite you, sort of this way. It's like, would you like to listen to to say something, or would you like to listen to what happened today? And then it's like, and then when he responds to you, you have this like invitation. Okay, he's present with you. Otherwise he might not always find this energy. And we know that projectors, you have this tendency to be needy, right? To be needy of attention, to have, especially with undefined thought. The undefined thought also, wants to have this attention and all the openness, right? There's this neediness in all the openness in every one of us. And because there is a lot of openness, so there could be a lot of neediness from this openness. So I would ask the husband, because if you ask and he responds, then he's going to be yours probably until he stops responding again, right? So I would invite him to invite you into conversation. That would be my advice. You're getting some awareness for the difference, how you build understand that we did not begin the relationship correctly. Yeah, that's another thing that we don't know about human design. Most of us didn't, enter the relationship correctly. It's not always this case. In order to understand my husband better, yeah. So I would say I would actually see if that's going to ask him question to invite you. See if he's to check in with his sacral, whether he has this energy to avoid this sort of disappointment that you probably have, and it's all very human. Yeah. Manifesting generator responsibly peace with this type, accepting my speed, but I have a big challenge, I think, resulting from the condition of my open ego. Yes, wide open. An emotional center. People who have a defined ego put pressure on me. That's Ola. That's you. And so people with defined ego put pressure on you. When I talk to such a person, I even agree to things that are not beneficial to me and that I have already thought about not wanting them. Yes, because you probably want to maybe prove. Is it, I'm like, if it's like totally open ego, yes. And it's like, it could be a way also you proving yourself and this person that you can do it, right? I can do it. I have the energy to do this. Of course I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna let you down, because me saying no to you would be in a way, I'm just giving some ideas. I don't know if this is the case, right? I'm kind of like making up now these stories. Maybe that's how it is. It's like, I'm just, I'm not gonna be seen as this. I'm just gonna do it. I prove myself. I know I have this energy. And you see, when you're actually in the aura of this person, remember, is that you amplify this ego, right? So if this person has some sort of an ego defined, so you have it twice as big in this case. So that's doing even more, like proving yourself, proving this person, not wanting to be seen as someone who doesn't know, not wanting to be seen as someone who just doesn't want to do it, doesn't know, and all these sort of stories that your open mind and open head makes up for you. Does it make sense, Ola?
Yeah, it does. Actually, it happened so fast that I don't see the stories behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course you don't. It's because it's just like on autopilot, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
because that's how you have been programmed, right? I don't know how long you know about human design, but let's say for minus these years or these months, you were having even bigger ego than these people, because all the time, amplifying this energy
yeah.
and always proving yourself. That's the mechanic. It's something that it just happens, and you've always been used to this open ego. So yeah, so that's why the awareness here is just so important. And you know what, you probably, as you said, it just happens. But you probably most often now have the awareness after
Yeah,
comes the awareness. Okay, I did this again, but that's okay. Having this awareness even after you done this, that's still very good, right? Because most of the people, they don't have this awareness even after they do something. It's like I really struggle with my root, right? The root is for me the most difficult thing to decondition, and a lot of the times I realize after I do something, but that's still okay. But I just believe that it requires it's like it comes in steps. The first step is like to have this awareness after we contribute to something, after we do it. But then so then after a while, hopefully you're gonna stop yourself in the middle, maybe during, or even like, I know for the open ego, it's difficult for you to change your decision. You might be like, oh,
yeah.
I'm not going to change my decision. But how about if you could allow yourself to actually change your decision? You know what?
Well,
I actually don't want to do this anymore. I don't have this energy. Just make something up. You can even lie. Make something up.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. But change your decision. Give yourself permission to change your decision. And then see, with open head and open ajna, you have no certainty. You just don't know.
Yeah,
And things change. Well, the truth is like it changes. It's like if you asked me, right, Ola, what do you think about the earth? Is earth flat or round, right? I would just tell you something what I think now, but because I've got, same as you, open head and open ajna, it can change next week. My perspective on that changes, and your perspective on things changes. So then allow yourself to make a decision, like to change your decision. But and please don't, and try to work with your mind, because your mind's gonna tell you, you can't change decisions, see, oh, how bad you are, right? That is not good. No, you can't do it, possibly do this.
I was
Back then,
conditioned to not changing decisions.
yeah.
It was strongly pushed
Yeah.
at my home.
Yes, and with open head and open ajna, of course, is like you have to be certain. That's what we are not certain, no way, but we want to be certain, right? I'm certain, I just know. No, there's no truth, never actually, about anything. Even if we have 70% of truth, that's really good, but probably not even, most of the time we don't even have this, and it changes. So I really would like to invite you to give yourself permission now to change your mind. If you see that you contribute to something, you've contributed to something that you then realize, yeah, well, I just wanted to prove myself, right? That I just made this decision for my ego. tell this person, you know what, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't have, it doesn't even lie, make something up that you know, why you just don't want to do it anymore. You don't have time. And you also have the fifth line, unconscious. So that could also be, you could be quite prone to, you know, providing solutions to people, fixing them, save them, and do things for them so they don't even have to get up off the sofa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is-
I'm quite with the story of Velo. We have the same personality, sun
Yes.
and earth, and actually it's also quite a lot of me in that story.
Good, good. So please now work with it, like that you are allowed, you are allowed to change your decision.
Yeah.
And
Thank
it
you for
doesn't,
allowing me. I will write it somewhere that I'm
yeah,
allowed.
yeah. You give yourself this permission. I give you this permission, and you give yourself this permission to change your decision. You can undo things, just like computer. If computer can undo, we can also undo things. Is this okay? I learn regularly to stop, to make decision on the way of my emotional tape, but sometimes yeah, define egos. Yes, of course, because your ego pulls you into this decision making, and mind feeds this story. So, is it clear? Is it?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Good, perfect. Oh, oh, Joe, sorry that you had to wait so long. And I kind of mentioned, you probably know all these answers now. My question is, I struggle with my Chiron return in gate 51. Have you got any tips for suggestion? Right. So that's what I've already said. For the Chiron, I'm not sure if you actually generated your chart, the life cycle just for the Chiron, if you know the chart. If you don't know your chart for the Chiron return, I can do this for you and I can email it to you. But I won't be able to explain it to you because, as I said, I don't know much about life cycles. But what I feel about this is that that's your chart, right? That's your blueprint, right? That's your blueprint. So this, even though the Chiron return chart will be different, you even have different incarnation cross on that. It will have different nodes, right? Because all these cycles, they have different nodes. But the way I see this, that the different chart could tell you and show you maybe some of the lessons that you're here to learn, something that you can be pulled away, right, from this, let's say, but that's fixed. That's your definition, not you. You're not just your chart, but that's what is always stays the same, right? So I would say, and because you also have wide open ego, and the gate 51 is the ego gate. So I actually wonder if the lesson here, because the 51 is also can be quite restless, is the gate of shock. But in the gene case, as far as I remember, the shadow is what's the shadow? Something with, let me check. I can't remember what's the shadow. I've got the book here. It's quite handy to have this jinky book. Agitation, right? So the agitation is about also feeling restless. But the gift is initiative, and Siddhi is awakening. But also, you're a manifesting generator. So knowing that you're not here quite, because the 51 is powerful, right? It can make you feel restless and make you want you also initiate things and go into shock experiences. So be aware if it pulls you out of your sacral response, just to, it's like you feel this restless, okay, I need to do something, and just maybe the lesson could also be being busy, yeah, more sort of that I would, but stay with your sacral authority, tap into this, and this stays fixed. Jose, is it answering? Is it something? Do you feel that it's kind of covered, or you have any more questions?
No, it's okay. It's okay for me. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. And I do this chart, and I'm gonna email to you, so then you know. I also have a lot of knowledge about human design, so you will see. Yeah, I don't know much about life cycles, so yeah. Is that all we have? That's, I'm gonna say how many more. I think that's last. Okay, good. That's a long one. 5-1 generator, emotional authority, questions about career and income. I was pressured to go to law school by my parents, failed in the career. Yeah, of course, because your parents as a 5-1, they don't see you for who you are. They just never, yeah. They literally, if you have 5th line in your chart and in your profile, especially family don't quite see you for who you are. And that might be quite contribute to some sort of, you know, feeling that I'm not good enough, they don't see me for who I am. Oh, that for Ola, that's for you because you're 5th line unconscious. And that could also feed this story of your ego. I'm not sure if you felt seen for who you are in your childhood, but that could also contribute to, you know, because if we feel that we're not seen by parents, it makes us feel that we're not worthy, or they see us as someone who we're not, like we don't really feel seen. So that could be, and over the, you have the shame around the early budget despite therapy. Over the last several years, I have acquired quite a bit of knowledge about psychology and trauma. And I find I can often help people on my discussion groups. They thank me and often have aha moments as a result of my replies. I also recently responded to someone's request to edit an academic complaint letter, and 2 professional writers responded that my rewrite was excellent. However, the thing about this situation is that only certain posts and discussion groups activate my aha, I can help. Of course, you won't contribute, you absolutely not, it's not required for you to contribute to, you have the gate of contribution, right? So that's what I've discussed previously. Really be mindful to what you contribute in. You're not here to contribute and to fix everyone. You choose how you choose. Sacral, what my sacral responds to. I'm afraid pursuing in a job or career based on what I appear to be good at will put me in situation where I have to do whatever work comes in. Yes, you don't respond, you don't accept what you're good at because you're good at many things. You respond to what gives you, what obviously respond to this sacral pool and what gives you joy and satisfaction. So it's like, you know, putting on the scale, okay, what observing yourself, what gives me joy and satisfaction, what really lights me up, because that gives you more energy. This is how you generate your energy, regenerate it. So that's what you do. And it put me in a situation where I have what comes in, rather than being so free to choose who and what to respond to as I am now. And this will take the energy out of me and deflate me. Of course, if you contribute your energy to the wrong things, if you don't follow your sacral, you're gonna deflate yourself, like you're gonna be depleted. And the price here is fatigue, depression, and you know, and so on. The current situation is interesting. What allows me to do the get in, solve it quickly, get out, the 5th line, and action, right? I'll just fix it right away. And this, the 5th line, to avoid being projected on. The 5th line needs to withdraw. The 5th line, especially for the 5-1, where it's and the 5th line, if you see, even for you, Ola, for 3-5, if you see, you know, because you don't see, you actually, because the projection for you is unconscious. So this is something you might not be aware of or not always be aware of. There's probably more projection than you see. So the 5th line is important to withdraw yourself from people to avoid them projecting onto you. It's to hermit, allegedly. Right. I guess I haven't formulated all the question or the possibility is this something income generating. So yeah, respond, follow your sacral response. Does it bring me joy? Does it bring me satisfaction? Tell someone to ask you questions, specific question for your sacral. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Specific questions. and follow like breadcrumbs. And I think that's it. Do you have any more questions? Who's here with us? Let me go back to you, my ladies. Okay, do you have any more questions? No. Got that. Thanks for the response. Perfect. Was that your chart, Emma? Let me see. I don't know. There's no name. Yes, that was your chart. Okay. Is it okay? So that's clear. Yeah, probably answered most of it before, but please, you are on the same cross as me. It's just the difference is you are 14/8. I'm 8/14, and I have your channel here 8/1, and I have this channel here just as you have, and very like that's actually the second chart, very similar on the same cross, the same profile with pretty the same channels. Can't remember who it was. It doesn't matter. But yeah, really, fifth lines, please don't be saver for everyone. We're not here really to. We are. The fifth line is for crisis, right? So that's what is important for the fifth line to know. We are made for crisis. But a lot of the people that come and want our help, it's not crisis. So ask of his first year sacral that does it have energy to contribute into fixing, bringing solution and doing this. But also, we are made for crisis, right? And if it's something that these people can easily be doing it themselves, let them do it. Let them do it. Actually, how I learned, that was a big lesson for me to learn to what do I contribute my energy into. What actually helped me, I don't know, maybe I read this somewhere in the book or maybe I channeled, I can't remember how this information actually, oh no, I actually channeled this, because I'm a psychic, I'm a channel, I also do professional readings. And this is something because I channel for myself as well a lot. And this is something I channeled. So I got this message that it's like when I do things for other people, I constantly fix things for them that can easily be doing themselves. I take on their own karma. I take on myself their lessons, right? I deprive them from learning, right? If I depriving them from learning, do I actually help them? No, I don't help them because I do it for them now, and they gonna, face the same lessons over and over again until I let them do it, until I let them learn it. So that really helped me a lot. Like it was a game changer for me. I was like, that is a big thing, right? Do I want to, transfer their karma? Obviously, the fifth one is the karma mirror anyway. That I actually want to myself, like literally myself, transform it. No. I have to go. That's okay, Joes. Yes, no problem. I'm gonna finish anyway. I'm just finishing anyway. Thank you for being here, Joes. Take care. So I'm just gonna finish anyway. Yeah, so that's really, don't take on their own lesson. Don't do their lessons yourself. That's not absolutely required. So fifth lines, remember that. Right. Any more questions? Does anyone of you have questions? You can unmute yourself.
This is Emma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I had a question, but maybe you missed it because it was before the other person leaving. So the last part of my question was specifically about turning my talents into an income. So is it like at this point, is it just like we're looking at the sort of micro strategies of following the sacral response and breadcrumbs, et cetera, and then the money will follow? Because I am concerned about needing to make an income at some point. So how does that, what's your response to that part of the process?
Yeah. So yes, exactly. That's what I said. I would just follow breadcrumbs, follow your sacred response. What your sacred response to? Does it bring me joy? Because you really have to. You don't have to work. You need to do. You have to do what. I'm gonna reframe the word. I mean the work. You have to. You must. do what lights you up. You must do what brings you satisfaction. And I know, you know, this is how, of course, it's difficult sometimes. It's like, well, we need to pay our bills. Well, it just, you know, that's how the world operates. And I know it's difficult to, it's also about taking a leap and trust it. You know, I mentioned about the post that I did in the group. I posted it 2 months ago about my husband, and he's a money gen. And he was the main breeder in the family. It was actually the story from about, it was the COVID. I think there was a COVID, right? So he had a job that he hated, right? It was like, it was actually, the employer was a scammer, right? So he wasn't paying money. It was really like, my husband was so frustrated. Obviously he was frustrated, so he was like literally depressed, right? And he was the main breeder, and I was just we were having a baby. I gave birth to my youngest, and he was only a few months old, and we have 2 children. So at the time we had a few months old baby and a 3-year-old toddler, and I wasn't working. I wasn't bringing money, and he was the main breeder, and he had this job that he was literally depressed, right? And this is really amazing story. It really, like, so what he did, he came from work, like, honestly, he said to me, Ola, I had enough. I have enough. I can't do this anymore. And of course I had this feeling, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Like, oh my God, how are we gonna pay mortgage? How are we gonna pay the bills? I mean, we've got children. You know, I have all these fears, but I was like, I wasn't saying anything. You know, I wasn't responding. Like, you know what to do. I just said, you know what to do. And he kind of felt, I think, because he couldn't feel my fear. So, you know, I didn't really engage into this. So do you know what? I tell you what he did. He phoned up his boss and asked him, like, he gave him kind of like an option. He said, either you, because he was on commission, so it was really, and they were scamming him, so he wasn't getting paid much. He said, okay, either you give me salary that I know, you know, how much I'm on, you give me the salary, and then I'll stay. If you can't give me salary, if you continue this way it's been, I'm gonna leave. And they didn't do salaries, so they only work for commission because they wanted to scam people. And then he left. So he decided to leave, right? And imagine this moment, obviously he felt this relief, but I'm sure he felt also this, you know, fear. Okay, what are we gonna do now? You know, how are we gonna pay the bills? And you know what? Literally 40 minutes later, it's a magical story, right? 40 minutes later, he got the phone call from a different company doing pretty much similar things. He's an engineer, he's a communication engineer. And they offered him salary more than he actually imagined. This is the real story, right? Honestly, I'm 100% honest with you. And he accepted this job. He accepted this job because he got offered this, or he accepted this job, and he's been with them for, I don't know, about 2 years now with this company. And you know, I actually believe that in this situation he had to, all of us, we had to took this leap of faith, and it worked out good. But I know this is this fear, isn't it? Is
Yep.
this fear, well, if it doesn't work, you don't know what's around the corner, you know. You also have open head, you just don't know. We don't know. We never know. But what I can tell you, because you have the channel 2644, I have this channel too, and this is the channel of transmission. And it's important that you get paid for your work. We have to get paid, otherwise there's no transmission, because this is it's transmitting, it's design of transmission, but it's transmitting source. So for you to transmit source, you have to get paid. It's a tribal energy. So remember, you need to, it needs to be worth for you to work for this money. You know, it's like you need to get paid. So like thinking like probably voluntary work won't work out for you, or doing something for free, because there's no transmission. See, so it's important. So yeah, and when you actually, you know, when you follow your sacral, life comes to you and life does come to you. You might not see it, right? You might be close for that. You might have this fog, but really, do you see that life comes to you? Do you see that there is this things that come to you? Do you see this?
Sometimes, not very often though. I feel often that I try to push things and it doesn't work, and I'm often very lost. I feel lost.
Of course you do, because when you push things, you learn this lesson that you're not here to initiate. And it's like, oh God, so what do I do?
Yeah,
What do I
What do I
do
do?
then? Yeah. So how, I mean, is this something that you maybe, are you looking for a job? What was it? Is it you want to have your, what are you thinking doing? Is it something specific, or are you looking for a job maybe? See, because
well, there's nothing specific now. I'm just wanting to make an income basically, but not just any job, not just I'm doing this because I need money, something where I actually feel I can contribute my talents. I'm not attached to what form that takes. It could be entrepreneurship, could be a job, it could be more school. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. See, you with this channel 8-1, right? We are, because I've got the same channel. So we are freaks. We are weirdos with this channel. It's like we are here to do things differently, right? We are here to be. It's actually one of the keynotes is to lead by example, right? So it's like lead by example. It's like going always. Also, it requires, right, to kind of like make this path for other people, like to doing it differently, to have this to bring your innovative ideas into reality. And of course it can be difficult because there is this fear. Okay, I'm seen as strange, I'm seen as freak, I'm seen as weirdo, but you're actually here to be weird.
Or no, I'll tell you what happens for me is that I do bring up my innovative ideas in very conservative settings, and they get rejected. And I'm also not good at doing a lot of the routine tasks. So it's like the job requires abilities I don't have, but it doesn't use the ones I do have.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. And see, this channel 2644, as I mentioned, is a transmitter, but that's also, it's actually, I actually sometimes laugh when I read about this channel, and when I contemplate this channel, is that because it's a great marketer. It just knows how to sell, but it also knows how to sell its ideas. And it seems like you don't know how to sell your ideas.
I don't.
Right? Yeah.
Sales is, if you ask me if I'm good at sales, I'd be like, nope.
No, I know. If you ask me, I've got this channel. Are you good at sales? No. I'm the same. I'm like, I don't feel I'm just, yeah. But maybe there are other ways like we can do it, but we just haven't figured it out. And you know what? We don't need to know everything today. We don't. It's okay not to know. It's okay to experiment. And as I suggested, what my husband did, he, put his CV into Indeed. I'm not sure if you have Indeed in your country, maybe Linktree, and try to do this, right? So then you expose yourself. You speak to people and tell that you're looking for a job, and then come back to you. Life comes to you then, and then you respond to these offers, whatever the offer is, right? And then you respond to it. You're okay, that was a response. I accept it. And then okay, does it bring me joy? Am I actually liking it? And then it's literally breadcrumbs. Let me see. You have the 55 here. See, this is really funny. I'm on the same cross. The 55 and 14 is actually, they both the money-making energies. That's the resource and the wealth, the 14, and this is a powerhouse. So it's like your life's work. See, your life's work, but see, even that's in Gene Keys, it's called life's work, right? But see, life's work means you don't have to figure it out now. It's a life's work. It's it takes time. It's okay to take time. And then the 55 is the gate of abundance. So that's your life's work, and that's your purpose. Your purpose, the gate of abundance, is like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like I have all these gifts. I just have to figure out how to use them.
Have to use,
That's
yes.
how it feels.
And
Like I look at this chart and it's just full of stuff, and I just have to figure out how to use it.
exactly. I see the Pluto. Your Pluto is intuitive. It's the 57. That's your inner truth. So that you're gonna, be pulled into, okay, am I intuitive? How I use my intuition? And of course, this intuition is this splenic energy. But but that's gonna even though it's not connected, the spleen isn't connected to your sacral, but there is this intuition, and then there's this intuition, and then there will be this pull or not from your sacral to this intuition. But you have gate 57 here, you have the gate 57 here. Let me check what is your, okay, that's interesting. Are you familiar with gene keys?
A little bit, yes. I've looked at my chart. I've read the chapters for each of my positions.
Yes, good. See, your core wound is 48, right? The 40 is like the 48 or always often doesn't believe that it's no enough, doesn't believe that it knows what it knows. But it's called the well, right? The well, that there is this depth in you, but you just don't know that it is there. You kind of like in the shadows, this fear of not quite. Again, even though it's the spleen, but it's the fear, like I don't know enough, I don't have enough, like things to to go out with the world and show myself. Yeah, I would say go out, show yourself, speak to people. See, you're a 5-1. You are good with strangers. You are made for strangers. So probably you get on better with strangers. Like you see on the bus, let's say, or in a grocery store. And sometimes, you know what? It only requires to be in the right place at the right time, just to meet someone that your life can totally change.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, because you are made for strangers, like literally made for stranger, for masses, for stranger, for masses. So that could be the transformation, the work could come from out of nowhere. Yeah. From people, these offers would probably be, because these people, like the strangers, they're most likely to see you for who you are. Your network, your community, they don't see you for who you are. You probably see this. It's like quite obvious for 5-1. Like we feel unseen. They don't know who we really are. It's like, my mom. It's like, I laugh. She can still do this. It's like she can come to me and say to me, "Oh, why you don't work for nursery? Like doing what? Childcare? Like I'm like, seriously? You're telling me to be a childminder, or to like what? Have you lost your mind?" like she can literally, this actually shows how they know us not quite well. They see us through some sort of a lens that's not for who we are.
Yes, that's been my experience.
Oh, I'm afraid you have the same mom as me. You must be my sister.
Yeah, probably. It's just like, it's unbelievable. They come and they'll tell us like, I'm gonna do what? Like, where do you want me to work? Like, seriously? Oh my goodness, it's like they don't. Right. Yeah, so follow the breadcrumbs. It's literally like following the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And trusting. And I know it's difficult, right? Taking this leap of faith, like my husband did. It was difficult. Imagine, believe me, it was difficult. It was really difficult 40 minutes of my life until this phone call. Obviously, we didn't expect this phone call. Imagine, like, we literally lost the income. We have mortgage to pay, and it was the COVID. It was difficult. It was really difficult. So, yeah. But you know what actually makes me believe that if he didn't make this leap of faith, I don't think this offer would present itself. Sometimes you need to close one door. Yeah.
I understand what
Sometimes
you're
you
saying.
need to
Yeah.
close one door for the other door to open for you.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. Yeah.
It's not, but I think I have a better understanding of the map of the challenges and some tools to help me through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely. So do you girls have any more questions, or do you think that it's quite clear, or if you have any more, just, we can do a few more moments.
I don't have any more questions. Thank you so much for that. I
Okay,
appreciate
perfect.
it.
Ola, you okay?
I'm okay. I've got just one question. Do you do readings?
Yes, I do. I do readings. I do human design readings, and I do Gene Keys readings as well, because I'm a Gene Key guide. I'm in the Gene Keys community. So if you're interested in working with me, you are very welcome. You can reach out to me if you feel the response. Reach out to me, DM me, and I'm quite happy, very happy to be your guide
Okay.
and go deeper into your design. And then, but you see, I'm also a channeler, because I'm psychic, I channel a lot. So that's why I never realized, like, for this, I didn't prepare myself. I literally just threw the charts and the questions into Canva, and I'm just allowing myself to speak, to go through me. And then, when I click end, of course my mind, you will try to, oh, you didn't say this, you didn't say that, but then I'm like, okay, thank you for reminding me. But I said what I said, and that's, if I said, that means that what people needed to hear, and that's it. No more is required. Yes, so yes, you're very welcome to book a reading if you feel. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I would love you to share, if you feel, the response, to share it in the group, about this experience. If you have any aha moments, you might have more downloads after this session here, please share it with us. You are, as a generator, manifesting generators, you are here to know yourself. I'm here as a manifestor to know my impact. But if you don't tell me, I don't know my impact. So I really encourage you, and I really please ask you to, if I have made this has made any sort of impact, it has helped you, then just let me know. Let me know. Yeah, either way, it's, you want to share in the group your experience, your aha moment, or send me a private message. I would love to know, because I need to know if if it's okay to do it this way. So I don't waste my energy to do it if it's not helpful. Yeah, so thank you so much. Take care, all the best to you, and I'll see you in the group, or hopefully on the session.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.